Here's Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. We are coming to you live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center on another gorgeous day. Seahawks out there on the field. Training camp continues. We've got the concert going on behind us from the weight room, which is tremendous. Trying to keep Mike Lefko seated. He wants to dance throughout the whole segment, but we said, no, you have to sit and do your job. And he said, but Bob, this is my jam, bruh. This is my jam.
Turn the mic so they can hear it better.
I'm afraid
really
to.
Crank it up.
There's some colorful language in some of these songs, so you got to be careful.
Well, and I think Macdonald has a rule about that.
About language?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem to apply in the weight room.
Okay.
I can tell you that.
I think out here and in front of the fans and everything, he was making sure there was no swear words, but yeah. It's getting us fired up for the show, right?
Yeah, that's right. We got a big show coming up. Big Ray Roberts, who's not so big anymore. He's tall, but he's fading away. He's telling me about all this. We can talk to him about it, but he's big into swimming. He's hardcore in the conditioning, and he's talking about all this custom equipment he's buying. And
yeah, if you're an old person like me and Ray, swimming is awesome.
Yeah.
There's no impact, and then, you're working every muscle. I used to do that when I was rehabbing my knee. I had like a floater around my waist.
We got a floater.
Now I can just float by myself. I don't need the floater. But, and then, you like run, the running motion. It's you're like neck deep in the water, and it's great. So, yeah, Ray, he's still an imposing looking dude, but I think he might weigh less than me now.
He might. He's tall and thin these days, and he was in there talking about, I got custom goggles, I got all the equipment. Yeah. Like what equipment? What do you got? Water wings?
Yeah.
What kind of equipment?
Something like that. Yeah.
You wearing a cap? What do you got? So we'll talk to him 2:30 about other things like the O-line. I was watching some of the drills out here, which was very interesting. Yeah. Byron Murphy will join us today after they wrap things up somewhere in the 3 o'clock hour. They've been ending. I don't know, what's 3:15 usually is when they've had somebody come over. So whenever they wrap things up.
That's great, man. I'd love to talk to him. I was watching the one-on-ones over there and saw a pass rush move that he's probably seen before, but it was new to me. And, they're working really hard on, like, targets and trying to get a guy's arm and, all the hand placement and everything. So it's very detailed. And that's something that I think is just a little bit different.
Yeah, it's cool to watch some of these individual drills or the position group drills. But, it will get Ray's take on what's going on with the O-line. We'll talk to Byron Murphy at 3-ish, somewhere in there. And then Shannon Drayer will join us, our Mariners insider, at 4:30. She was out there in Cooperstown for the Hall of Fame ceremony, so get her take on the proceedings out there. We played some clips from Ichiro yesterday. I think most people agree he just crushed it out there. Yeah. Showed his sense of humor. So we'll talk to Shannon at 4:30. Then 5 o'clock, El Hombre, Michael Bradley, will join us on the program as he does each and every Tuesday at 5 p.m. You guys could text in 866-979-3776.
Yeah, and text in if you found Rabel's phone, by the way. If anybody has Steve Rabel's phone.
I thought OC has it.
There's an ongoing saga about that, but I have a funny story real quick.
Yeah.
Steve needs Dr. Rick.
Why?
Because he called me from his wife's phone twice, and both times left me a message and gave me the phone number.
The phone number of his phone he was calling from?
Yeah. I thought you guys would enjoy that one.
Oh, Rabel.
That's an old guy thing. So
that's a very old guy thing.
Again, it's 2:06.
Yeah. I like he's slowing it down so you have time to write it down. Hold on, right. Steve. Let me get a pen. I don't see the caller ID, so let me go ahead. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I thought because we had Raves on set with us. He left his phone here yesterday. You grabbed it.
Yeah.
You gave it to O'Connell.
Yeah.
And then
let O'Connell take care of the rest. It takes a village to raise Steve Rabel. And, I like that about people that my wife forgets her phone fairly often. Not leaving at places, but just forgets to take it. And I'm like, at least you don't have like an intimate relationship with your phone.
Yeah, like some people we've seen.
Yeah, but
walking through the office. But yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, he gave. He needed Dr. Rick there. You don't need to leave the number. And somebody, one of the texters, by the way, texted in and said that he pulled a George Costanza. because George left something at the girl he wanted to date again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he left
the
like
big
a
furry hat.
It was the hat.
Yeah, the mink hat or whatever that
so
was.
Rabel left his phone so he can come back on the air again.
That's what it is. All right. Well, he doesn't have to do that. He's always welcome here, but hopefully he gets that phone back. But good news coming from the Mariners last night. A great game, a big win against a team that was looking good. I mean, they swept the Astros, so you're like, oh, boy, what are we in for out there at the minor league ballpark with the A's? And first of all, I mean, it was the star of the game was Ben Williamson.
Yeah.
I mean, there were obviously Luis Castillo with a gem out there. He was fantastic. Josh Naylor's first home run,
and he stole a base and then took another and then ends up getting the sac fly to bring him home.
Yeah.
So
but Ben Williamson was outstanding. I mean, he saved the game defensively with multiple defensive plays, especially in the 8th. You know, the Mariners are up by 2 in the 8th. A's have the bases loaded, and you're going, oh, geez, are they going to blow this? And Soderstrom drills one to his right, to Williamson's right, who's playing almost shortstop. He's way off the line and makes a diving grab and gets up, runs, force out at third. I mean, just a beautiful play amongst a couple of beautiful plays out there. And just he saved their bacon in that one, man. I mean, he was tremendous in the field, had a 2-for-3 night, double, scored a run.
Right.
Just a complete night for Ben Williamson.
Well, and I know I brought this up maybe a year or two ago, and I'm always so impressed by the situational awareness. And you know, a lot of people, whoa, what do you mean? That's like you learn that in Little League and everything. But I mean,
all the pros.
But the concentration, seriously, on the field to know exactly, you know, where do you need to go in all of these different situations. And Williamson's just a gem, man. He's been defensively. The one where, you know, he had to, I think it was a one-hopper to second where he had to kind of.
Where he was sliding. He was off balance and kind of bounced it. Yeah.
I still think the one JP got, I think JP almost did like the worm and got his body up off the ground. That was probably 30 games ago and made the throw. But that was still my favorite, but I think that was the second best defensive play I've seen by the Mariners this year, and that was just a beautiful thing, and they were all clutch, too.
Yeah, I mean, just huge. You didn't have a lot of slack, a lot of room to mess around. There weren't a ton of runs scored in this game. So, it was tremendous night for Ben Williamson. Matt, can we hear that cut number 2? This is him making that diving stop that I was just describing. He's playing kind of over into the hole and short, essentially. Right. He was way off the line, and bases loaded. This was a huge moment.
Here's the pitch of the way, swinging a ground ball to third. Diving stop by Williamson. Gets to the bag at third for the force on Rooker coming down the line. And Ben Williamson saves the day again. His second spectacular play. He takes a double away from Soderstrom and turns it into an out. And the Athletics leave the bases loaded. What a night for Ben Williamson.
Yeah, I mean, that's an extra base hit. Yeah. You know, if that gets by him, he doesn't make that play. They're plating 2 at least right there. So, huge moment to say the very least. So good for him. It's got to feel good. I'm sure he's hearing all the conversation about, hey, we need to find a third baseman. We need to get some production, which is still true. I mean, that doesn't change anything. But the one constant with him that we've talked about, his defense. Yeah, we can talk about he's not driving in runs. He's not, been that producer that you need in that spot. But defensively, you've got no complaints with this kid, man.
I think that's his 13th double this year. So, yeah, I mean, he also, had another base knock there. So 3 players had 2 hits, and he was one of them. So that was the Ben Williamson game. Yeah. I think we'll always remember that because, like you said, around the trade deadline and, I think now, everybody kind of held their breath. We'll get to later when Geno, took one off the hand. But, I mean, I don't know. You can't help but think, hey, maybe I got a little bit of a chip on my shoulder now just because everybody's talking about replacing me.
Yeah, it's I'm happy for him, and it was huge. It was cool. I don't know if you were watching the end of the game when Brad Adam was doing the interview with him on the field, and Julio walked by and said something like, man, this guy at third base is a beast, or whatever he said, or Ben Williamson at third is the man, whatever. Yeah, it was pretty cool that was cool. He did that. And so
he's just sitting there with his dirty uniform head to toe.
Yeah, huge night for him. Josh Naylor, here's his first home run as a Mariner.
And Josh Naylor leads it off with a swing and a drive deep to right field. Going and goodbye baseball. over the bullpen and right onto the berm. Josh Naylor with his first home run in a Mariners uniform gives the Mariners a 1-0 lead here in the top half of the second. His 12th home run of the year. He had 11 prior to the trade as a Diamondback, and there's number 1 as a Seattle Mariner. Josh Naylor, yes indeed. Welcome to the Seattle Mariners, and that was a home run way out here to right field.
Yeah, that was huge. He's had a hit in every game as a Mariner. It's only a few games, but still, he's had a hit in each game. Had another hit in this game.
And that's 3 stolen bases now, I think.
Scored another run, yeah. So he looks a little
angry.
Yeah, a little cranky.
Yeah, it's funny, that emotion. I was going to say, well, and also with the trident, they hand him the trident, he holds it up, and then he turns around and is like, here, hold on to this.
Yeah, you look like, what am I doing?
It's like,
here,
what am I doing with this? Which, I think it's kind of cool. Maybe, I don't know if he didn't know what that tradition was, or I like to think that he was annoyed by it. But he just has a different look.
Why would you want him to be annoyed by it?
I don't know. I just like the cranky guys. But yeah, I mean, when he hits home runs, and you saw that a lot in Arizona, he's got almost like an angry look on his face, man. I love it.
As long as his teammates love him, I don't care. As long as he's good in the clubhouse, he can have any kind of edge he wants, man.
Yeah.
And
and they're trying to get to know him, right? And, figure out who he is as a person and everything. But, I like that. It's kind of like, I don't know, I think a lot of old schoolers would have maybe been, be more respectful and do this and that. But I think he's kind of like Richard Sherman type of edge, where it's like, hey, we're going to be nasty and we're going to go out and we're going to beat people. And, yeah, I'm going to do my angry bat flip and round the bases. So, yeah, I love that element that he brings.
Whatever works for him, man. Whatever works, I'm in. And then, not to be lost in all of it, Luis Castillo with the gem. I mean, he was outstanding last night, and it was good to see him. His last start, it was really, it wasn't great. It wasn't brutal. He didn't kill him, but he wasn't awesome. It was 5 innings. He gave up 3 runs, 10 hits to the Brewers. Wasn't a great day. It wasn't brutal. It was just kind of a meh. Yeah. And then for him to bounce back when they really need it, when they're trying to make a move in the standings, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but for him to come out one of his best starts of the season, 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. More importantly, no walks.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of been part of his story, is walking guys, giving up the untimely home run. None of that.
Home run.
So 4 strikeouts, no walks, and he gave you 7. And Dan Wilson after the game just talking about how big that was for him to be able to go 7.
They were swinging early, putting balls in play, but, not very hard. With a lot of kind of the fister sort of pop-ups and weak contact. It was a lot of that early on, and they were swinging early in the count, trying to get to him. But really good command, getting the pitches in, and able to just not allow them to find barrels at all. And that's that was a huge part early on to get us deep.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Take some heat off the bullpen, just across the board. Just a great day for Castillo out there. And
yeah, he had a similar. I mean, Detroit, he went 7 innings and he gave up 5 hits and 2 earned runs in that one. And then he had against the White Sox, the 7 inning and 3 hit, 0 earned run performance. But that was a big one.
Yeah, that was huge. You needed that, because we were talking about Logan going out there and being dominant, and then all of a sudden things just fall apart. And we've seen that from a few other guys. And again, Luis coming off a start that wasn't awesome.
Right.
You just kind of came out of it going, you need more from him. And he gave you more. And he was great. You needed it. So a lot of good things last night.
I forgot about the Pittsburgh outing when they won 1-0, but 7 innings, 0 earned runs in that, and only 2 hits and no walks. So it's been kind of a little bit intermittent, but I mean, that had to have given him a lot of confidence, and I love it. Maybe it was having Josh Naylor in the lineup.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a connection, but whatever it was, you need more of that from the other guys in the rotation, and that goes a long way into helping this take some heat off this offense. Speaking of which, we were talking about Dylan Moore yesterday being put into the starting lineup because they want to give JP a day off, and JP's been struggling. So Dylan Moore gets the start at short and proceeds to go 0-for-3 with 3 strikeouts. It's just, I'm starting to feel bad for him. I mean, he's trying, man. The guy works hard, works his tail off. He's not trying to go out there and sting it up, but the dude is lost at the plate right now. And I mean, I guess I don't really know what your alternative. You got to give these guys days off, man. JP plays all the time. He's struggling, so he probably desperately needed a mental break as much as a physical break. But I don't know what you do with Dylan Moore. I don't. Is it better to keep running him out there and just let him work his way out of it, or is it, hey, let's sit him for a while, which they tend to do. He's not a full-time player, so I don't whatever, Seitzer and Edgar are working with, it's not taking, it's not sticking. I don't know what the answer is with Dylan Moore.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that has an effect, because there was a little bit of a drought for JP, and so he gets the day off. I don't know, man. I think only Dan Wilson can answer that. And he knows his players very well, and if he keeps running him out there, then it must be because he believes, hey, he's going to work through this on his own.
He's got 2 hits in 2 months.
Yeah.
He's got 1 hit in July. He had 1 hit in June.
Yeah, and he had it, I don't know if it was April or May, but he put together some really good weeks there where he's batting.
That was April.
Both against righties and lefties, very similar. He's like 275, 280. And, like I said, I think Dan knows him really well, and that's, if you see him out there again, it would be for a reason, at least what he thinks about, Dylan Moore. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of people have different ideas about what he should and shouldn't do, but
I look, if I'm Dan, Dan knows more about what these guys are going through than we're ever going to know, but
right.
Just watching him, and everybody can see a guy who's a little in between, right? When they're getting beat by a fastball, they're way off the off-speed stuff, they're way out in front of it. You can see when a guy's in between. How you work through that, everybody's different, but I said this before, I would stop playing the hand in this thing with him. I would stop saying, all right, there's a lefty reliever coming in, let's take our lefty out, bring Dylan Moore in. I'd stop that for now. Even if the lefty is terrible against lefties, I just almost feel like it's an automatic out when Dylan steps into the box right now. And, maybe Rayleigh gets lucky against a lefty. I'll take my chances with that. Maybe somebody else. I don't want to see him brought in to pinch hit because there's a lefty on the hill. Because right now, when we looked at his numbers yesterday, he was hitting like $136 or something against lefties.
Yes.
Brutal.
Yeah.
So I would personally, I would stop that. But, Dan's going to do what he thinks best, I guess. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it'll be interesting tomorrow's conversation if, they run him out there. And, he has more futility.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the guy. I want him to do it. It's weird, there are people on social, and I know it's social media where everybody shows their backside, but it's like they're almost rooting against him to say, see, I told you he stinks.
Right.
Whereas I'm looking at it from, yeah, you're right. Right now he does stink, and I don't know what the right answer is with him, but I'm certainly rooting for him. I would love for him to have gone 3 for 3 last night. That would have been a much better conversation to have. But there's some satisfaction with some fans when they identify a player that they don't like, or that they have another player they think is better on the team, so they take delight when the other player on this team that they supposedly root for fails.
Yeah,
it's a really weird thing.
How much do you think it's that, or it's that they're one step away from being a scout in Major League Baseball?
I think it's not even that remotely close to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not scouts.
Oh, they think they are.
I know what they think.
Kidding me?
Yeah, they're nowhere near that. I think that's been very true. Our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. Let's take 2.
As we get closer to the trade deadline, Thursday is the trade deadline. Chandler Rome, the Astros beat reporter for The Athletic, says the Astros are targeting Padres starter Dylan Cease. So Houston has lost 5 in a row. They also have 8 starting pitchers on the IL right now.
Yeah, it's, if you're an Astros fan, you're looking at that going, duh, yeah, you should be in on any starter that's available out there because they've been ravaged by injuries, yet there they are 3 games up. That lead is shrinking. That lead is shrinking, but they still hold that first place spot, and we'll see. I would imagine they're going to be aggressive. I would imagine they feel like, look, we've gotten this far with as injured as we are. We bring in some reserves. We're going to be just fine in a very down year for the American League.
Paredes is still out. Is that right?
Yeah.
And Luis Garcia, Spencer Getty. There's Pena is still. I think he's due
out
back.
still. Yeah.
Back in pretty soon. Wasn't he on the 10-day? Anyway, yeah, it's annoying that they're able to have the kind of success that they had. Now, they did get swept by the A's, so that was good. But, yeah, it's too bad that they're able to have success amidst all of this adversity.
Really sad news in the baseball world last night. A Spokane native and Cubs legend Ryne Sandberg passed away yesterday. He was 65 years old, and he had battled prostate cancer for a number of years.
Yeah, that's a huge bummer. By all accounts, a really good guy. Obviously a great player, Hall of Famer, but just a Hall of Fame person by all. I interviewed him once years ago when I lived in Chicago. He was, incredibly nice then, but that's one moment in time. But by everybody else that that I knew that had interaction with him or knew him on some level, just a great person and obviously a credit to the sport of baseball.
Yeah, I saw Bob Costas on MLB Central this morning, and he said something about how he believed it wasn't about the number on his back, but the logo on the front of his jersey. It was more eloquent than that. Anyway, it was very, very cool to hear, and everybody by all measures thought he was one of the greatest MLB players as far as personality goes.
Yeah, it's weird because I was looking him up the other day because I heard his name. I was like, man, I hadn't heard anything about him. I knew he was battling that. And I just looked up an article, and it had kind of a positive spin on it that, hey, that it looks like it's headed the right direction. This was literally like 2 days ago. Somebody just jogged my memory, brought him up in a conversation, and I was like, oh, that's great news. And then this happened. You're like, wait a minute, I just read this thing the other day that.
When you were in Chicago, did you call him Rhino?
I did.
You did?
No,
okay.
No. we called him Mr. Sandberg.
Yeah,
no, but he was by all accounts a great guy. So a tremendous loss and a really sad story. All right, Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/Cyberknife Prostate. We'll get his insight on the O-line and everything else he's seen out here. Big Ray Roberts is going to join us next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now.
This thing on
and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
When your outside matches how you feel on the inside, that's kindness. And so I think that is the one thing that the Lee Johnson Auto family encourages us, is to be really authentic and really be intentional in how we treat our customers and how we treat each other.
To have a good company, have a good culture, have a good crew that takes care of your customer base, you have to take care of your crew. You can't have miserable people and expect them to give a customer a good experience.
Walking in here, meeting some of the employees already before I was even hired on, welcoming me in, gave me a good indication what this company was all about. So if I were to make an hour and a half drive here and to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain.
dayandnight.net. The old throne's not too well, and ooh, does it smell? Dayandnight.net.
Slow drains, backed up toilet, is your main drain or sewer clogged? Hi, I'm Bruce, General Manager of Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Over the past 70 years, I think we've seen every drain clog out there. If your pipes aren't draining from a small fix to a major repair, our sewer and camera inspection will show exactly where the problem is. I promise you, our experienced technicians will find the issue, the right solution, and do it at a fair price. Give us a call or visit dayandnight.net. I guarantee whether Day and Night is your first choice or your smart second opinion, we'll work harder than anyone to earn your trust.
If you have a drain that's slow or clogged, call Day and Night. Now you'll save $50 off any drain cleaning. Slow or clogged drains? You know where to go. Dayandnight.net.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed, all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with XFi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We are live at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Seahawks out there on the field as training camp rolls on, and sitting here with us on set is the disappearing man. Big Ray Roberts is still big in height, but man, you're slim dude these days.
Yeah, well, I had my yearly physical probably 4 or 5 months ago, and this 5 foot like nothing doctor looked me right in the face and said, "I'm gonna whip your in shape." And I was like, okay, I'll beat you to it.
And
so then
he scared you.
He scared the heck out of me.
Scared you straight?
Yeah. You know, sometimes you just need I had all the plans in the world to kind of get my body moving again, but I wasn't doing it. I needed someone to
kick you in the rear.
Yeah, I needed that.
Oh, you look great, man.
I actually sent him a text after that. I was like, dude, I needed that. Like, you might have felt nervous saying it to me.
Yeah.
But I needed someone to say
love.
that to me. Yeah, absolutely.
And now you're training for the Olympics and swimming?
Trying to make the Masters Olympic team, for the 25 meters. Because that's about all I can do before I'm dead.
Please tell me you're going to wear board shorts and not the Speedos when you race.
Well, Dave,
I don't think he's going to tell you that.
I don't have the Speedos, but I did get the little, the longer
compression pants.
Yeah. And I was,
okay.
It took me a process to like do it though. I wore some swimming trunks over top of them first to kind of go like, am I sure I want to do this or not? You know.
Maybe you change in the water. You take the trunks off in the water.
Exactly. Yeah. And but then I realized like when I go to the pool, there's no one there, so I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, and so I just went for it.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, you look great, man,
Thank
and
you.
I'm glad you're in good health. We need you. We need you around for a long time.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, I was watching some of the O-line drills out here, and I was thinking of you. Like, all right, what I'd be peppering you with questions. So it's probably good you weren't with me. But what's your takeaway? Because I'm watching them going, man, these guys look agile in the way they're moving. Everybody looks quick for the most part. There are a couple guys that look like they were having a couple of issues. But overall, what's your impression been of what you've seen with the O-line?
The first thing I saw was that just the body composition just looked different. Like, some of the young guys last year still kind of had like the college body. Like, you're big, strong dudes, but they didn't seem
formed.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like even Bradford, like his body has changed a little bit. He looks a little tighter and firmer and more muscular and things. And so that was like one of the first things I noticed is that they just look more athletic, even though they're not big, huge bruising dudes. But for this offense, that's not exactly the strength of the offense. And so they have guys that are mobile, that can move and play with power and strength. So that was the first thing that I noticed. And then the second thing was just watching them before they got to one-on-ones in the teams drill. I've always said that the way you coach and call plays has everything to do with developing an offensive line as anything else. And so just watching them go through 3 different pass sets. One was just their regular pass sets where they're, dropping at like a 45-degree angle, say for the tackles. And then there's another one where we call it a short set where you're kind of almost going at the defender as if it's a run. But your pads are up a little bit higher, so you can be under control. And so that's kind of a short set. And now there's also one that's called a jump set, where you take 2 steps at the 45, and then you attack the defender. And so the reason I like that, those are tools in your belt to use, different plays and different, matchups where you know that you can do those different things. That allows you to disrupt the timing of the pass rush. Like last year, it seemed like everybody was setting to the same spot every time. And as a defender, it's easy to game plan for that. Like on my 3rd step or my 2nd inside step, I'm going to swim to the inside. On my 3rd outside step, I'm a bull rush. Like you can time all that stuff up. But when you can disrupt their timing, then it puts the offense in the aggressive spot in pass protection. Because pass protection, for most part, is a passive kind of a situation.
Right. You're catching.
You're catching and you're reacting to what they're doing. So when you can disrupt their timing, now they have to react to what you're doing. So now they have to think a little bit. They can't just play on instinct. And maybe they're just a hair bit slower coming off the ball. That's going to equate to that much more time to get the ball off.
And so, you're talking about short set. That's like a pass block that you're attacking him. Actually.
Yeah. So like instead of taking your 45-degree angle 3 kicks and you're like 3 or 4 yards off the ball, you're kind of taking 1 kick step and then you're going almost like a play action pass. You want it to kind of look like that, but your shoulder pads are up a little bit higher. And so that's the short set. And then the jump set is when you actually do like maybe 2 kicks at the 45. Then at the 2nd kick, you go at the defender. You like put your foot in the ground and you actually go forward at the defender. And so that kind of messes up a lot of the timing of these pass rushes.
When you look at this line, do you think that was kind of the memo after OTAs and after they introduced that, hey, we need to be a little bit more mobile as far as, body composition and guys, because you see a lot of the run. I mean, it's almost like they're turning and sprinting to the numbers, right?
Yeah. And this outside, or if you want to call it wide zone stuff they do, you need that. You have to be mobile enough to get out there and execute the blocks. And the thing, when we're watching, even just the way they're teaching the technique so that the defender has the less chance to be right. So if you're pulling to trap the outside linebacker and he decides to go inside, the angle you take makes it so that he can't be right. If he decides to come up the field, the angle you take makes it so that he can't be right. So you're equipping offensive linemen with tools that they can work with versus saying, I have this one way to do it, and if that one way doesn't work, then that play's probably not going to work. Yeah. And so to me, that has a lot to do with play call, play design, all of those types of things help develop an offensive line. And so if you can attack a guy sooner at the line of scrimmage in pass protection, and especially if you can get your hands on him, you have more time to protect. You have more space to recover if you lose. But if you lose right at the point of attack, then the quarterback's probably going to get hit. Yep. You know, so if you can make that the contact 1 or 2 yards off the ball, you have more time to recover. There's more space for you to get back in on the block if you get beaten or to give up a little bit of an edge. So that's more time for the quarterback to get the ball off.
As far as the personnel that we're going to see out there, does it feel to you, we talked about this yesterday, that it feels like it's a battle for 2 spots? You know who your left tackle is. Mm-hmm. We assume Zabel's going to be your starting left guard. And Abe Lucas, when healthy, is your right tackle. So it feels like it's your right guard and your center. And that's where the battle is. Is that how you see it?
That's how I see it. And, I got to see Christian Haynes take a few reps at center. And just, I've always been the dude that's like, hey, man, I need a PhD in what you're doing. Right. But considering the makeup of the team, you got to get other people, backups and depth and all that kind of stuff, consider injuries and things like that. And he looked really good there. He looked pretty explosive. The thing I was just telling Dave for both centers is that when teams decide to go to a bear front where they have 5 down linemen, so they have both guards and the center covered, that's where you got to earn your pay because it's just you and that dude. Yeah. And so those two dudes, a little bit lighter, are going to have to be really athletic and stout and be up for the fight in those situations. And then at right guard, Haynes has been taking reps over there. Bradford has been taking some reps over there. And, Bradford, to me, like, I was watching him in particular because the dude has everything that it takes to be a pretty, really good guard when he wants to be. And so I just want to see what his mentality is. Like, if he's up to fight to win the spot, or is he waiting for them to make the decision if he's going to have the spot or not? I want someone to go take it. Christian Haynes looks like he's always trying to take it. Right. And I want to see that from Bradford, too.
Who do you think? I'm glad you said that because Dave and I were talking about him saying he's got the ability to be dominant. We've seen it. Yep. And we had somebody texting, he stinks. You don't know what you're looking at. And I'm glad you said this because you're our offensive line guru. Is he the most, as far as, tools to work with? Right. Does he have is he the most likely if he had the right mindset to dominate that spot? Or do you feel like
I
somebody
think
that's got more?
The thing I like about the two guys and their difference is that Haynes is really athletic, a little bit lighter in his lower body, but he does things that veterans do, like the way the hand fighting that he does, slapping guys' hands down and like repositioning his hands. And then I love the way he's always trying to finish. Like if you're not always trying to finish, then you shouldn't play offensive line. If you're just going to go like, hey, I got my helmet to the outside number, hit the guy for 2 steps and let him go, then you ain't helping nobody. Right. And Christian Haynes you can see him 3 and 4 and 5 yards down the field trying to finish blocks. That's a big part of it. And then when I look at Bradford has all the tools and the strength and the size to be just physically dominant if he makes his mind up that he wants to be that every time. Not, 4 out of 8 plays. Right. And then those other 4 plays, he has a false start and he gave up a sack and a holding call. Like, that's just a lack of being locked in. If he can get locked in and play that physical style of football, then they have a good problem to have. You just have to decide what style you like. And so I do think that Bradford, they are 2 different types of players, but both of them can be the guy that owns the spot. It just depends on who decides that I'm taking it versus saying I'm just going to do this and then they're going to make a decision. You made the decision for them.
Big Ray, always good to talk to you, man.
Absolutely.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
You look great.
Hey, I'm trying to get like slim and fit and like I can wear like an extra large shirt versus trying to find, like I want to like buy off the rack, like for one time in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Order?
Dude, I'm like trying to find anything bigger than 3X or 3XLT. It's very limited. You know what I'm saying? So like you can't have all the style and all this other kind of stuff because you just got to get what you can get. Right. And so it's been kind of cool to be able to go into a store and be like, hey, I can wear that 2X.
I remember in the O-line, the only store there was a big and tall shop in the mall. In Bellevue.
Yeah, in Bellevue.
And everybody, all the offensive linemen wore the same clothes.
Well, my first year, we went to Denver, and it was Kaufman's Big and Tall in Denver, and he had a dude set up at the hotel, and so for whatever reason, when I came in, and I was the dude he talked to, and he said, hey, man, if you can get these guys to come over to the store, order these clothes, like, we'll give you a discount. So I'm like rolling up everybody. I'd never been to a big and tall man store. Dude, I bought everything I could find in the store. They were, like, sending me boxes of clothes, like, all kinds of stuff. So I couldn't wait till we played Denver every year.
Yeah.
And then they ended up opening it up at Kaufman's here in Seattle. But, yeah, when you're that big, dude, and you're not trying to custom order everything, it's really hard.
Yeah.
And then you wear a size 16 shoe, so you can't get all the cool shoes.
Your selection is limited, man.
Yeah.
You do all right, right?
I'm trying, man.
You do all right.
You know, I told the thing last year. I'm like, dude, I don't care if my pants match or my shoes. Like, as long as I have clothes on, I have clothes on. You know what I'm saying?
They cover your body.
You're not picky. You're not picky.
It's no style points. It's just it's basic, like, this is functioning.
Yeah, this is functional. I don't care about matching. I love it. Ray, we appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys, man.
There you go. There's Big Ray Roberts. Always a great conversation with him. If you guys missed any part of that, you can find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, one pitch last night might have altered the entire trade deadline. We'll get into that next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
It is that time of year. I cannot wait for the weather to get warm like it is now on consecutive days. That means I can break the motorcycle out, ride to work, ride all over the place, and I love it more than just about anything. But I also know that it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you, when you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. Law Tigers has been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They're here 24/7, 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they are in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events and supporting all clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The American Band, the legendary Grand Funk Railroad, is rolling into Muckleshoot Event Center Wednesday, August 6th with special guest Jefferson Starship. Don't miss this night of classic rock that defined a generation. Get tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com. Grand Funk Railroad with special guest Jefferson Starship. Only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Now is the time. We talk about it year-round, but roofing season really is upon us. It's Mike Salk here. So what makes it roofing season? Long, dry days where roofing crews can work realistically sun up to sundown. They're cranking out projects all over our region, and Riverside Roofing is, of course, leading the charge. Local to Marysville, Riverside Roofing serves the entirety of Western Washington. They do amazing work. They've earned my recommendation, plus industry awards like GAF Master Elite's President's Club, a status fewer than 1% of roofing companies in the entire country actually achieve. Get a roofing quote in less than 60 seconds using Quick Quote directly on riversideroofingllc.com. It'll pop up as soon as you go on their website. During and after your roofing job, you can expect a yard and driveway totally clean of debris. Behind their national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville, built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the local roofing company you can trust. Go to riversideroofingllc.com.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Ooh,
deep
high
breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks once again to Big Ray Roberts, who joined us in the previous segment. In case you guys just tuned in and missed that conversation, you can find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Just click the podcast tab, scroll down to our picture, click on that. And you'll find it waiting for you there after the show each and every night. And don't forget, you can click subscribe, and it's totally free. Just shows up for you. It's a beautiful process. So, meanwhile, the Mariners win last night. And the beauty of the win, Dave, obviously a win is always great. But we saw the key teams surrounding them lose, all of them. And that would, by all of them, I mean the Astros, the Rangers, the Red Sox, and the Yankees. So now with last night's proceedings, the Mariners are 3 games behind the Astros. They have a 1-game lead on the Rangers. They have a half-game lead on the Red Sox for the second wild card. And they're 1 game back of the Yankees for the top wild card spot. So those are the 4 teams you keep an eye on and see what they're doing, because it all has an impact on where the Mariners may be in the postseason.
Yeah, and they're without Aaron Judge, the Yankees, now. So, I mean, I don't want to sit around and root for injuries on other teams, but
it feels like you're going to. Feels like you're about to.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's all kind of working out for them. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, if the Yankees maybe tank a little bit. But, yeah, they're in a good spot right now. But I don't know. You think they're ever going to catch the Houston Astros? You think you got to believe that at some point all of those injuries have to catch up to you. They have to.
Yeah, I don't know. It's. I would think if normally you'd go, well, yeah, you're right there. You're on their heels, and they're just absolutely beleaguered with injuries. But we've talked about this so many times. They're like the Patriots. Like every year you're going, all right, they don't look as good this year. They got problems. They got this going on, that working against them, whatever. And they just find a way. So until they're defeated, I'm just going to assume they're going to win the division, because that's just how it's gone. But look, this could be the year. I mean, the AL's down, the baseball in general in terms of having that monster team. You've got really good teams. You've got a number of really good teams, but you don't have that team that we've talked about where you look at and go, well, who's going to beat them? Yeah. Right? Everybody's beatable, and everybody's shown that they're vulnerable, and everybody's got weaknesses, and it feels just it's a bit. And we've heard it from all the experts that cover this game for a living that this is a down year. We may never see the AL as open as it is right now, which leads to the level of urgency that should be there with the Mariners and other teams feeling like, hey, this is our shot. This is our shot to take advantage of this. We've talked about the window with the rotation. This is a different one you can get through, and hopefully they do.
Well, and they've been at 60 wins for 5 games now. I mean, 5 in a row that they've lost. And the other thing that's kind of encouraging is seeing the kind of power outage as far as offense goes for them. What have they scored? 8 runs in the last 5 games. So, yeah, I mean.
Which team are you talking about?
The Astros.
Astros, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's some encouragement there. But I don't know. I just think when you get that many injuries, it has to catch up to you at some point.
Doesn't it?
Come on, they're not that deep.
Are they lucky? I don't understand what happens. It's like every time the Mariners win, they seem to win. And when the Mariners would lose, they would lose. So the Mariners have had a hard time gaining ground, closing that gap. They're doing it. It's 3 games now, but it's been a slow process considering how much the Astros have struggled as of late. You'd like to have been able to take care of business in a couple of other games and really put the pressure on them. And we'll see what they do at the trade deadline. I mean, there's a million buyers out there, and there's not a ton of sellers. And obviously their needs are probably a little different than other teams. They're looking at starting pitching, and we'll see what they come up with. But, yeah, I would love to believe it's all going to catch up to them, and they're just going to face plant for the rest of the season. But until I see it, I can't buy into it.
Yeah. Well, they dropped one in the first game in the series against Washington, 2 more with them. Then they're at Boston, and they're at Miami, and then they're at New York. So hopefully, they get a couple more sweeps here, and it all starts to come into focus just because, I mean, I don't know. I get it that they're deep, and it's a great organization and all that, but yeah, it's got to catch you at some point.
Well, and then the other bit of news that came last night that probably concerned a lot of teams and a lot of fans of those teams is Geno Suarez getting plunked in the hand, left the game. He's not in the lineup tonight, but the X-rays were negative, so seems like he's going to be okay. No damage is done, probably very sore, but I think it was just amazing how that was almost like breaking news last night that Geno Suarez was plunked in the hand and taken out of the game, because so many teams are interested in his services that it was that big a news. Any other night it would have been an aside mention, maybe, but it became a big story last night. So I don't know, if he's close to a deal, does the team that they're close with, whether it's the Mariners or anybody else, are they rethinking it all? Like, hey, we need to put a provision in here that says if that hand becomes an issue, that this is the exchange. This is what I mean. I don't know how they treat this if they look at this and go, whoa, now we got a new concern here.
Yeah, well, hopefully it looked way worse than it was because obviously he went and got the X-rays and they're negative. But he said, he was quoted afterwards saying, man, I thought something broke. But thank God it didn't. So, I mean, it was one of those where you could see, like, there's probably like 8 teams going, oh, no, oh, my God. Yeah. And you look at where it hit, is it his left? It looked like it hit his left hand, the bottom hand, but I think it was the right. But anyway, it just looked so bad just because of his reaction. He throws his head back and everything. It was like, oh, man, I think did they show that highlight during the game, or did I see it?
They didn't show it during the game. If they did, I missed it.
Yeah, but, it was one of those that looked really bad.
Yeah, it was not funny, but I was just picturing the GMs and owners from all these other teams going, all right, what's our plan B? Right. Let's get on the horn with the D-backs and alter the offer, or just.
Well, and hopefully for his sake that it's not as bad as it looked. But like I said, the whole thing was so dramatic.
Yeah, and a lot of people have their hopes attached to him that he's going to show up in their uniform. So we'll see what goes on as the days are ticking down. It's the 29th, so we got 2 days. Thursday, the trade deadline comes. Meanwhile, his teammates have been talking about him. We're going to check in with him. Byron Murphy is scheduled to join us when they wrap up. Seahawks are still out there on the field right now, but once they wrap things up, he'll come over here and join us on the set with Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passan with Brock and Saul.
Right before the trade deadline, where does this roster sit out of the 30 in baseball?
There is no dominant team this year, guys. It is a wide open landscape in Major League Baseball. There is no dominant team. And if you can put yourself in the position where you get one of those golden tickets, I firmly believe the Seattle Mariners can win a World Series this year.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Dave Wyman joined by a very special guest, Dr. Daniel Landis. He's on the Swedish CyberKnife team treating prostate cancer and accepting new patients. Dr. Landis, what could patients expect during CyberKnife treatment?
So the CyberKnife treatment's an outpatient procedure. Essentially, it's a 5-day treatment, about 30 minutes per day. You walk in, you walk out. You essentially don't feel anything at all during treatment. Many patients still work full-time while they're having treatment.
That's incredible. Where are your patients from?
We see patients from all over, patients from out of state, Alaska, Idaho, from all over the world, honestly, since it's such a short treatment.
How can someone get a hold of you?
Yeah, I would encourage patients to reach out to us directly. We'd be happy to schedule a consultation.
Thank you, Dr. Landis and the team at Swedish CyberKnife for the wonderful work they do. And remember, you don't need a physician's referral. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. That's swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners pick up a big win last night to close in on a few teams around them. They're 1 game back of the Yankees for that top wild card spot. They're 3 games back of the Houston Astros for the AL West. And that 1 win goes a long way. Let's make it 2 in a row. Game 2 against the A's coming your way tonight. They're going to send Logan Evans to the hill. He faces off against Luis Severino at your pitching matchup. You can catch it all starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. 7:05 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, one final on the day, game 1 of a doubleheader. The Orioles beat up on the Blue Jays 16-4. 19 hits for the Orioles in this one. Again, 16-4 the final. Game 2 of that doubleheader coming up here in about 30 minutes. You also have the Tigers playing host to the Diamondbacks. The Rockies on the road to take on the Guardians. Rays in New York to face the Yankees. Reds host the Dodgers. Braves taking on the Royals in Kansas City. It's the Twins and Red Sox together in the Twin Cities. Brewers play host to the Cubs. Phillies on the road to take on the White Sox. Astros host the Nationals. Angels and Rangers get together in Anaheim.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We are live at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. And is there for you, 866-979-3776. Seahawks still out there on the field once they wrap things up for the day. Byron Murphy is scheduled to join us here on set, so looking forward to that conversation. It's a guy we spent a lot of time talking about and just talking about the impact he could have, and eager to see that jump from year 1 as a rookie to year 2 and what that looks like for him. So looking forward to that conversation with Byron Murphy coming up. And it feels like the defense so far, Dave, you know, if you're judging winners and losers, who looks sharper, it's clearly the defense so far, would you say?
I mean, that was probably what everybody, thought it was. Is that funny that my mic wasn't on? You guys enjoy that?
That old on-off button is a tricky one at times.
Yeah.
Like you and Matt never cracked up when I did that. I remember you two. Hyenas in there the second I tried to do that.
Yeah.
I did that once when you were out, and I was hosting with Dave.
You forgot to turn it on?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the only reason people gave you crap is you're
cracking out.
constantly sitting there waiting for somebody to make a mistake so you can jump all over it.
We all are.
And so
it's this show.
Yeah, I'd say you more than others.
It's this show. We all wait for each other to make mistakes so we can go,
Jeez.
We're children.
That's fine. That's fine. We are children. That's why we're doing this job. I've never really had a serious job. Well, Merrill Lynch. Yeah,
that's
I guess
too serious for you.
I kind of screwed around, so that's probably why I'm here instead of, out.
You didn't take it seriously enough?
Yeah, I didn't like it. After a while. But, I just wanted to do something opposite because I was mad at football.
Yeah.
Yeah. How dare they?
How
dare they move on without me?
You taught football a lesson with that move.
Yeah, that's right. But no, I mean, it's totally no surprise. And again, I don't want to be like an alarmist, but I mean, they tore down the offense. I mean, it's entirely new quarterback, 2 new receivers, all new coaches. Not all, but, you've got Kenny Polamalu, who I was talking to, and he's like, man, such a disappointment. He was really bummed about, McIntosh. He loves his players, and he was talking about, him and the other guys are perfect for this scheme. So, yeah, really major bummer there because, that's just another thing. I mean, like I said, you got a new quarterback coach, new offensive line coach, new offense, the whole thing, and then you get an injury like that with a guy who, is a nice piece on your team.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him do what we think he can do, but it's a shame for him. But yeah, it's not a surprise that they've gotten, because look, our defense, they started off for whatever reason, they started off giving up like 14 points and 200 yards, which is ridiculous. Or I think it was 250. So, that's number one in any year in the NFL. But then the next 6, man, it was rough. It really was. They had to get things right. So, I've been bucking the trend and saying I think the offense is going to start off quickly, but
I think everybody wants you to be right.
Yeah, and if you watch the teaching and what's going on, I was standing over there with Ray, and I was just talking about, and we were having a conversation, by the way, about Christian Haynes and Anthony Bradford, and to me, Bradford would be the guy I would rather go against than Haynes, just because Haynes is very crafty. Played against a guy named Steve Wisniewski, who was just annoying as hell. And he was just always giving you the extra push at the end of the play and stuff like that. Business. Yeah, but I mean, he just was very good at getting in your way. And whereas the big guys, you knew exactly what they were going to do. They're going to come out and try to run you over, and so at least you know. So, but yeah, I mean, there's lots of little battles going on the offense, and I would think that Mike, being the decisive kind of coach that he is going to pick, who's the guard and who's the center here pretty quickly because, yeah, the end of the month in August 23rd is the last preseason game.
Yeah, the first one coming up next Thursday. Just unbelievable how quickly this is all going. But Mike Macdonald, after practice yesterday, speaking with the media on a couple different topics, and here he is just praising the defense and how they've looked.
Yeah, we started practice the right way today, which was good. We haven't done that every day on defense, so that was nice. So offense needs to respond tomorrow because they didn't start fast enough today.
I like it. Just very matter of fact, like, all right, your turn, guys. And I don't know. I mean, they've had a bunch of different drills going on, and they're kind of on the far side right now. So it's hard to tell how well the offense is or isn't doing. We'll get a report certainly afterwards, but hopefully they did step up. Hopefully they heard that, and I'm sure he relayed that message beyond just to the media in that locker room, talking to the offense, saying, all right, get it together.
Yeah, no, I think it brings a whole new kind of different sort of urgency that, with a coach like that. And, I'm not saying one coaching style is better than the other, but, I think Pete sometimes would be a guy who would stick with a guy and say, hey, man, I'm going to put my confidence in this guy and I'm going to give him a pep talk and he's going to go out there. And that worked. Really, it did. But I think with Mike, it's a different process. It's like, this is an emergency. Yeah. You need to step up. You need to not make any mental mistakes. You need to be in your playbook at night. They probably have computers instead. But, yeah, I mean, there's just no room for error right now just because of the – and there's going to be mistakes that you're going to have to correct, but like you've got to get off to a fast start with this offense, and it's there's a lot of different things going on.
Yeah, a reminder, our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by the Landing in Renton. One other comment from Mike Macdonald. Big day for Eamon Warry yesterday. Came up with an interception, and he breaks down what he liked and the one thing he didn't like about that pick.
It was a great play. Wish he put the ball away when he caught it. But yeah, I just asked him, like, hey man, like, you having fun out here or what? Like, great atmosphere, competing. We're asking a lot out of him. He's playing hard, learning a lot. But good to see him make a play.
Yeah, I heard the whole press conference yesterday, and that was the one that stood out to me. Just right off with, I wish he'd have put it away.
Yeah.
Meaning, tuck it away, don't fumble. But
well, like, are you having fun out here or what?
Yeah. But yeah, that's Mike Macdonald, man. I mean, he's constantly coaching. There's always a coaching point, and I love that. He told the rookie to tuck it away. But yeah, I mean, even Warriors looked great. He looks comfortable out there, and he's really. I would say at this point in his career, he's a better athlete, and he always gets compared to Cam Chancellor. But I think, he's got better ball skills. Cam developed those and then some.
Yeah.
You know, when he was a player, I mean, early on, he didn't quite have those tools, and he developed them and to be, you know, one of the best defensive backs in Seahawk history. But, yeah, you look at even Warrior, I feel like he's a little bit more developed, a little bit further along.
Not as big.
Yeah, no, I mean,
not as bulky.
Who is?
Yeah, Cam was a specimen.
Yeah.
and you're right. It seemed like after he signed his deal, that amped his game up to a completely different level where your fear is, oh, a guy gets paid, he gets comfortable, maybe they don't work as hard because they feel like I've made it. He went the other way. That's what I loved about that is I remember I think we were kind of on the same page when that deal was signed, like, wow, really? That much?
I thought it was a lot for him at the time.
Yeah.
But, you know, he had some coverage problems, and he fixed those. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I know you're going to give me a hard time about this too, but Cal Raleigh, you know, you pay him a huge contract, and he settles it. Now he's having his best year. Sometimes guys, when they get there, not just comparing him to Cam, is his experience. That you see guys, and they're like, now I can develop here, and I don't have to worry about that. And that's kind of what happened with Cam. I can't remember. Was it a 4-year deal?
I think so, yeah.
So,
ladies and gentlemen, you're witnessing the fine art of shoehorning in your favorite player into any conversation, whether it applies to him or not.
Yeah. No, but wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Like, yeah, the $108 million deal that he got, and, you know, it's like he doesn't have to think about that. And I think some guys, you know, love having that part of it taken care of.
By the way, I am glad to see that our buddy from the Seattle Times, Bob Condotta, has bundled up properly for the weather here, because he's out there in another long sleeve hoodie. It's very warm out here.
Well, not only is it a hoodie, it's one of those hoodies that has like fur on the inside. Oh. I mean, it's like an extra thick hoodie. It's something you would wear if it was freezing out here.
Yeah, and yesterday he had a black one on. I don't know. Is he trying to cut weight? What's going on there?
Maybe.
I wouldn't want to be around that hoodie when he takes it off, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's bad.
But, yeah, practice wrapping up, and once Byron Murphy gets through whatever he's got going on right now, is Mike Lefko keeping a watchful eye on the field. Do you see him, Mike? You see him? All right.
I'll say this about Condotta. I've spent lots of time with him, standing next to him. We wrote a book together. He never smells.
Okay.
So that's good.
Have you stood next to him after a day like this, wearing the hoodie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's okay.
All right.
Yeah, he's cleanly. You'd like that, Bob.
I would like that. You're right. Yeah. You know, maybe he's of the mind they would do this when I was in St. Louis, and it was just unbearably hot and humid. You'd see some of the reporters down on the field wearing multiple layers and long sleeves, and I'd be asking them, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you insane? They're like, no, this is a swamp cooler.
Right.
And, and basically they said it would keep you cooler. You're sweating in there, but it would keep you cooler than if you're exposed to the sun.
I see that down in Palm Springs all the time, where the guys that are working out in the sun, whether it's construction or doing landscaping and stuff, they got the long shirts and the hats and everything. And so it's like, okay, you're just going to sweat. You know, there's no way you're not going to sweat. So you might as well sweat into the shirt that you're wearing. And then, like you said, becomes a swamp cooler.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's a
very stinky swamp cooler, unless you're Bob Condotta.
That's right. That's right. What do you
Well, I
say
feel
though?
bad because the defensive line's running suicides or gassers, however you want to describe them. But, you know, touch every line, go further and further. So we're going to have an out-of-breath and sweaty Byron Murphy.
Yeah.
Oh, suicides. That's basketball.
Yeah.
Right?
So what do you call in football?
Football. We'd usually go the width of the field, up, back. It was called a gasser.
Yeah. Okay. Because they're doing each line and going further. So I know suicide's a basketball term, but
but that's suicides basically what they're running.
Yeah.
So,
okay. That's what they're running right now.
Yeah.
So they're just going to the 5, to the 10, to the 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's going to come over here huffing and puffing.
Oh boy. All right.
Those guys, I'll tell you what, man, you got to be in really good shape to play inside because, you know, they don't run a lot, obviously, but when you're pushing against a 320-pound dude and you're trying to hold your ground, it's kind of like wrestling. I mean, you get gassed wrestling. One of my buddies, Stu Fowler, him and I a few years ago wrestled for the bill for the pizza. It was like, who was going to pay? And it was at my house. I'm like, I'm paying. He's like, no, you're not. And so we started wrestling, gassed after like 30 seconds.
How'd you do?
No, I mean, it was a stalemate. No, he could probably break me like a twig. But yeah, New Fowler is one of my favorite people. But yeah, he's a thick dude. Played fullback in the NFL. So, yeah, the wrestling part of it will definitely get you tired.
Yeah, well, before Byron gets here, we'll get some other thoughts from Mike Macdonald on what we were talking about yesterday with, Kenny McIntosh, a guy that we've been openly rooting for to get more opportunities, just to see what he could do out there. And he looked great out here. And in the brief time we saw him, he looked explosive. He looked fast. Unfortunately, he had that non-contact knee injury, the ACL, and Mike Macdonald yesterday talking about the running back depth without McIntosh.
Well, we love the guys we have, and so that's a positive. I don't think you're always saying it's hard to say you're always deep at any position at any given point because you know how fast these things can happen. So, but Damian had a good day today. George has been doing a great job. So, just we're excited about those guys.
Yeah, George Helani's a guy that they've kept around, and he hasn't done a whole lot. He was pretty good during the preseason last year, but the kid out of Idaho that they picked up that was a free agent in 2024. But I was watching yesterday the one-on-one, and I didn't get to see the coverage today, and I was talking to, I think, NASA Chobe, that if you're a running back and you're one-on-one against a linebacker, you should win. You should win that battle. But, it looked like the linebackers were doing a pretty good job. But yesterday they had running backs on linebackers as far as pass blocking. And I got to say, our guy Patrick O'Connell, he has some super quickness and some great pass rush moves, and he was dealing out there, man. He got to the quarterback like 2 or 3 times. And then the guy who wasn't having a good day was Zach Charbonnet. He had missed a couple of blocks, but on the very last rep, and I think it's because he put himself back in it, he stonewalled O'Connell. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of going back and forth, and that was the first day of pads where they were hitting when I saw that, and yeah, that's something that I love, those little battles, watching that and waiting to see a pass rush battle. But we'll ask Byron Murphy all about that. Yeah, it's going to be, as far as the depth in the running back room, he's right. I mean, you never feel, especially at that spot. I feel like this team above most has had so much attrition at that spot in different seasons. And we've talked about it over the years where just one by one, the guys went down. And you're like, who is going to run the ball? They don't have, we always talk about the year that they bring Marshawn out of retirement and Turbo out of retirement, bring both those guys back in. I mean, they've had some rough seasons where you go into the season going, you got 4 backs, you got 5 pods, you got this guy on the practice squad, you got these 3 guys, we're fine. And then you fast forward to middle of the season going, who are we going to hand the ball off to? Oh, man. That was 2019, right? I mean, that was brutal. Yeah. Where every running back went down. Russ, I think, was the leading rusher that year. I think Mike Davis was the leading rusher for running backs, and it was only like 254 yards or something like that. It was awful. I think Russ had like 4 or whatever to be the leader. But yeah, that's a spot where you've got to have a lot of depth. But like Mike said, and they keep saying that, they said the same thing when George Fant decided to, they cut him or decided to not restructure his contract, but they said, we like who we have at tight end. Yeah. And so he's saying the same thing. Noah Fant. What's that? What did I say, George? George. Yeah. But, he feels comfortable with the depth that he has at running back. Yeah. We'll see what they do. I mean, Ken Walker has looked great when I've seen him out there, and he's a guy that's got something to prove just in terms of being available, and this is a contract year for him. Mm-hmm. So, I'm excited to see what that looks like. How does that translate? Does he look decidedly different? I don't know that you can make yourself more durable, but I think we're going to see the best version of him potentially since his rookie year. Yeah. I mean, he's one of those guys I think I had as far as the under the radar guy. All right, we're getting the signal. We'll break a little bit early, and then when we come back, we'll hopefully be catching up with Byron Murphy as they wrap things up for the day out on the field here at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
Now batting for the Mariners, first baseman Josh Naylor.
The first contender to make the big move that says, we're all in.
Going and goodbye baseball. Josh Naylor, yes indeed. you're now looking at a 1 through 6 in your lineup that's deep. It's legitimate.
Just 2 more days till the trade deadline. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports has you covered on 710 and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. And when you hear Harley Exteriors, think windows manufactured right here in Washington, specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest climate. And Olympic Series windows, they're offered exclusively by Harley Exteriors. And this is the window you want. It looks absolutely stunning. It's much better than a traditional vinyl window. And these windows last up to 60 years. And they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. And they come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass, breaking, or damaged seals, it's going to help your home's resale value. Very affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. And in July, and you better hurry up, in July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation. No payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. So think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Man, look at that return of the old king, man. Oh, wow. Emotional.
King of the Hill is back.
They got a Bob's in the airport now. Oh, that's Boba.
World has changed, Dad.
Bobby wants to bring that new girl over for dinner.
The vegan? What the hell am I supposed to feed her?
Can't we just put some grass in a bowl?
From Mike Judge and Greg Daniels.
Ready to make some memories, Dad?
Let's freaking go.
A Hulu original series, King of the Hill. Season premiere August 4th, streaming on Hulu.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
12's Seahawks training camp, powered by Boeing, is underway at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Join us lakeside for a first look at your 2025 Seahawks as they put in work and gear up for a milestone 50th season. Only a few open practice remain, and they're filling up fast. Register now at Seahawks.com/training camp.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you. Which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of one unlimited intro-line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. One discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile, Wi-Fi, and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from Seahawks training camp. I'm watching Mike Lefko saunter onto the field. Out there to be a nuisance to Byron Murphy to get him to come over here. We're set up over there.
He's good at that.
Yeah.
He's good at being a nuisance. That's what you need.
He's like a gnat flying around. They're just swatting. Like, what is going on around here? Where is that thing? So we'll hopefully catch up with Byron Murphy here in a few minutes. Guys leaving the field. Some still working on individual drills. Some have some family out here. So we'll catch up with Byron Murphy when he's done with. I lost sight of Lefko. Maybe he got tackled by him. Maybe Murphy said, "Get the hell."
Somebody
out of here,
stuffed him in a locker.
It'd be funny to see Lefko come limping back. His glasses are all askew. His collar is torn. Yeah, he didn't want to come over. Look at us wishing ill upon Lefko for our own amusement.
That's tough. That's a tough job.
Look at
Lefko has.
Look at he's trying to slow down his walk, like he's guiding him. Like he's like, we're right here. There's going to be a chair. There'll be some headsets on. You're going to want to put on.
Big Byron's going to go at his own pace.
Oh yeah. So we'll get this conversation in and get a little update from a guy that a lot of eyes are on. We spent a lot of time talking about him and excited for his second season here with the team.
Big Byron.
Yeah.
Good to have you, man.
Get those headsets rolling there. Byron Murphy with us. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
What do we got going on behind us? Somebody putting on a show?
Yeah, man. AD always messing with me.
Yeah, that's right. We thought maybe you stuffed Lefko in a locker or something. We didn't
producer.
see it. Because he was bothering you.
We lost sight of him. We said maybe Murphy tackled him. Maybe he just drove him into the turf. Well, how's everything gone for you? Year 2, does it feel like, okay, now I know what I'm in store for? Last year, you're probably tons of questions, and what's the NFL like now? What's the comfort level like?
I'm feeling pretty good. Year 2, man. I'm very confident. I'm not thinking anymore. The game has slowed down a lot, a whole lot. So now I'm able to just process the call. I know what I'm doing. I know what I got. I know what I'm looking at. And I'm just fired up, and I'm ready to go for year 2.
Yeah, and, we always talk also with the guys coming in their second year, like you have a place to stay, whereas last year you were scrambling for all that stuff, right? So it's not all taken care of for you.
Right. I'm all situated, so I'm just focusing on ball now.
Did you stay up here for the off-season, or did you go somewhere and train? Tell us what your off-season was like.
Off-season, I did the off-season program. Then after I left, I went back home to Dallas. I trained and everything, but I was here for all season, then also back home.
Yeah.
So when you looked at your season last year, are you a guy that goes back and watches different games and, all right, here's what I did here, here's what I should have done? What was your, if you were giving yourself a grade for last year, what would you give yourself?
I would give myself, I would say, probably like a C plus or something like that. Yeah, I'm very hard on myself, so I give myself a C plus. Just going back and looking at the tape last year and just seeing now knowing my ops and going back and watching the film last year, looking at my ops, man, I could have had a lot more sacks, TFLs and everything.
Yeah, that's one of the things that's kind of torturous, right? You only think about the bad plays, right? Yeah. But that's how you get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's nice to see. Do you think this defense? I mean, can you tell a difference where it was last year and this year? Because the second half, you guys were on fire defensively, and if you carried that momentum over to this year, you think?
Most definitely. I feel like last year, everything was new. New head coach, new defensive playbook and everything. So compared to this year, I feel like everybody on the same page. Everybody know their assignment, their alignments. We're playing as one now, we just together, I feel like the defensive brotherhood this year, a true brotherhood.
Who was it? Did you have a guy you would go to last year for questions like, hey, what do I do in this situation? Or are you just more of a sit back and observe guy?
Oh, yeah, man. As Jay Reed, my vets, Leo, man, I lean on them guys all year long. So, yeah, man, I would ask them questions left and right.
Yeah, I was looking at the roster. There's like we're looking at running backs. The oldest guy's in his 4th year, but when you get to D line, you get some old souls in there, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You guys are kind of the leaders on this team. It looks like. I mean, you guys are a tight group. You and Big Cat, and you mentioned Jay Reed and Hankins, and yeah, tell us about that.
They're my guys, man. We all close. We move as one, out through the building. You see one of us, you're gonna see all of us. So, man, it's I love it. Just having them guys in the room, so experienced. They've been doing it for so long, so they doing something right. So, man, just to have them in the same room with me, man, it's a blessing. I love it. So I'm gonna take advantage of it every day. So, yeah.
Did you do anything different in the offseason in terms of preparation, like for your rookie year versus this year? Did you take more time off? Did you lift more? Did you gain weight, lose weight, more muscle? What was different this offseason versus the previous?
I definitely got in the weight room, and also too, I really just mainly focused on pass rushing. That's all I was mainly focused on. That's what my coaches wanted me to focus on, just pass rushing.
Okay.
And yeah, man, I got in the weight room a lot too, so I felt a lot stronger, a lot quicker.
How did you get that field work done? You said pass rush. What kind of stuff were you doing? Did you have somebody to work with, or?
Well, my trainer back home, and also too, man, just working with AD, like literally during the off-season program, I'm working with AD every day. Me and him, putting on the boxing gloves, going on the tire, man, every single day. Like me and AD was just working, just really stacking days and just trying to get better.
Did you take any time off? Do vacation? Anything fun in the off season?
Oh yeah, man. I went to Turks and Caicos for my fiance's birthday. Yeah,
oh, nice. Had you been there before?
That was my first time.
What'd you think?
It's beautiful. I love it. Yeah. I can go back. I can do it again.
Yeah. So, so how long did you take? A couple weeks, and then you started working out again, or how long did you relax and let your body heal?
I went to Turks and Caicos, took like 4 or 5 days. I was out there for 4 or 5 days, and then I came back, got my legs tatted also. Yeah, I got some new ink and everything, so I had to chill because my legs are real swollen and all that. So and then after that, I got back to it.
You're running out of space, man.
Yeah, I know.
Now, did you do like Dak Prescott and others have done, where they get themselves put under? And,
I went under.
Really?
Yeah.
How they do an IV, or how?
They do an IV.
And how long was the session?
Say probably like 6-7 hours. But it feel like when you go to sleep, you feel like you just sleep for about like 45 seconds.
Yeah? You just woke up and you had new artwork.
Yes.
I wish they had that option on the plane. When you have to fly somewhere that's 10 hours. It just knocked me out. Yeah, so do they charge extra? Because those are big legs right there.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, they charge. They tax me for sure.
It's bigger artwork.
It's by the hour, yeah. Hey, tell us about DeMarcus Lawrence. Hear a lot about him. We got. Everybody has that same reaction. They're like, oh, man, this guy's kind of a little on the crazy side, like in a good way.
D-Law is my dude, man. That's my guy. That's big bro. But, yeah, D-Law crazy, man. He's crazy, but I feel like that's what we need in the room. that's a guy we need, man. He keep us going. He keep us turned up. So I feel like that's a great, a great addition to the D-line role.
Yeah. Hey, who did you watch growing up? Who were some of the players that maybe you modeled your game after, said, I want to play like this guy?
Man, I used to watch growing up AD, man. That's AD. I love short D linemen, Ed Oliver, Kenny Clark, Grady Jerry, all them type of guys. just try to, the same body type, so just trying to model my game after them.
Aaron Donald's a hard one to model after, right?
Very hard.
10 years, 10 Pro Bowls.
Man.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about him yesterday.
Yeah, Jared Verse tried to work out with him.
Yeah.
I seen that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Tried to compete with him.
I don't know why.
Said he didn't work out for another day and a half because he was too sore.
I believe it, man.
Yeah.
Dude's insane. His workouts are insane.
What do you think it was when you look at him, at Aaron Donald? I mean, he's obviously explosive and everything, but what about his game is so different? Because that's hard to get a lot of. You got 20.5 sacks from the inside. I mean, that's ridiculous, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't even describe him. Like, he's a freak.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can say. Like, the dude, like we never seen nothing like that, in the NFL. So, man, he's special. He's a special guy. Yeah.
Hey, what do you think the biggest change was in the defense last year? It felt like it was one defense, and then you had new linebackers come in, and then you fast forward, and by the end of the season, this was a top 5 defense. The way it was performed, it was so extreme. That,
right.
What was the biggest change to you?
I say the biggest change, man. Like I said, everything was just new. So like, I feel like towards the end of the season, towards that back end of the season, I feel like everybody just came together. Everything just started clicking, but it just started clicking probably like a little too late. But like this year, going into this year, man, we own it.
Is that the expectation? We're top 5 starting the season?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, most definitely, in everything.
We're kind of fascinated by Mike Macdonald, how like he says things like kind of bluntly, but like that's what everybody wants to hear, right?
All right.
You want to know exactly where do I stand, what do I need to do, Coach? But he seems like he has a way of communicating very directly without you getting mad at him or anything like that. Like he does it the right way. I don't know how to describe it. How would you describe his coaching style?
Man, I feel like Mike is, he's very demanding, and I feel like a player should want that out of a coach, a coach that demands, a coach that, that really just want the best for you and gonna pull the best out you each and every day, not gonna let you slack or anything because he know your potential. So I feel like, man, he's a great coach. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's leading us in the right direction.
Were you eager to get back to training camp? It seems like when players get older, the veterans are like, training camp, I don't want to deal with that. But were you getting excited about it, or were you feeling like, man?
Yeah, I'm very excited, man. It's football, man. I've been doing this my whole life, so, man, just able to come out here and do it again at the highest level, man, I mean, again, it's a blessing, so I'm just very excited every year, each and every year.
We'll talk to you in 5 years and see if you got the same attitude. See if he's feeling the same way.
Yeah, maybe he'll be more like DeMarcus Lawrence, like a little crazy.
Yeah. Well, man, it was great seeing you in your rookie year. Can't wait to see that jump from year 1 to year 2 and see this defense hit the ground running. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Yeah. Thanks so much for taking time. Hopefully we get a chance to talk again.
Yeah, thank y'all, man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
There you go.
Thanks,
There's Byron Murphy of your Seattle Seahawks. Defense was just on a tear to end the season last year. And
man, I wish I could have played behind this guy. He just, look at him.
Would have made your life easier.
Eats up blockers.
Would have made your life easier, yeah?
Yeah. That is a big dude, man, and he's powerful. So it'll be cool to see him. Kind of like you said, cut it loose a little bit. I think you as a rookie, the other thing is you're so afraid of making a mistake. Now he's got it down and he's going to be able to play free.
Yeah. What do you think of that? You see a lot of these players now, they're going in and getting work done as far as tattoos, but they're getting put under to get the whole thing done. I know some tattoo purists are like, no,
is that right?
You don't do that. You grit your teeth.
Is this kind of like don't do the bat flip thing that like there's a sense of honor or whatever?
I think they consider that some of the purists are that's part of the experience.
Yeah,
is dealing with the pain associated with it.
Well, you heard me. I would just as soon get knocked out. If somebody could give me an IV before I get on the plane, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
hate flying. Hate it. If you just fast forward through that whole thing, that'd be awesome.
Probably be the best rest you'd get in a long time.
Yeah,
right there. But yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence is a guy. We'll talk about him coming up here, but seems like he's a guy that comes in obviously with a resume, with a level of respect and a personality that people seem to be gravitating towards. And he's a guy that we just have not spent much time talking about beyond the day they signed him, and just kind of moved on to other aspects of the team. Obviously, the offensive line and the newness of the offense is going to be a dominant story, but Everybody seems to, as soon as you mentioned his name, he started cracking up.
Yeah. I just was looking at, reading some of Boyle's stuff and, what John Boyle, Seahawks.com. And, that group, they're a bunch of older guys, right? And, at least, you look at DeMarcus Lawrence, you look at Big Cat, you look at Hankins. I mean, they're all like double digit as far as experience goes. So, but you just hear more and more about him. And it's one of those guys from things that I can't say on the air that I've heard are like, this is the kind of guy you need in there. You know, he's a dog, and, he's going to have a no BS type of approach and kind of set the tone in there. And so I love that because, usually your offensive line is kind of the core and where you have the most veterans and everything. And this year it's D-line. D-linemen, are going to be kind of the leaders on this team, that position group.
Yeah, well, we'll talk more about DeMarcus Lawrence and how he's become a larger-than-life presence with the Seahawks team. Let you hear a bit of what Mike Macdonald had to say about him. All of that coming up as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Well, it's another beautiful day outside. The weather is perfect to get out on the motorcycle, and that's exactly what I've been doing every single day. And to this point in my riding experience, my riding career, I'm knocking on wood, I have not been involved in an accident. But if you're somebody that rides, somebody that's been injured in a motorcycle crash, here's what you do. Do not settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it. That's Law Tigers, who've been a part of the riding community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They're 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support when they need it most. Law Tigers is the resource you can turn to when you are in need. And you see them out at all the events. You see the vans, you see the tents everywhere. They're out there supporting all the clubs, all the shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. And the beauty of them, their case evaluation is completely free. They don't get paid until you get paid. So there are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers are there for you. You never ride alone with Law Tigers. Washington's motorcycle lawyers, Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Icy cool and oh so sweet. It's $305,000 in cash. Turn over a new leaf by winning your share of these big summer bucks. Every Saturday in July and August, golden opportunities abound with hourly drawings from 8 p.m. until midnight, when one grand prize winner will score 10 grand with 50 grand on the last Saturday of each month. Don't forget, your Reef Rewards card can save you up to 25 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Got neighbors? Big Trees can help. This is Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. If you've been considering planting trees to add privacy, look no further than Big Trees. Privacy trees fill in empty spaces, help to define property lines, and add curb appeal. Learn more about Big Trees' big supply of privacy trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
I have a handful of stories that really affected me personally in my career and how I handle employees. Lee Johnson, coming out of his office as a customer, asked me where the service department is. I was like, yeah, go to the end of the hall, go up the stairs, go across the breezeway, open a door, go to the left. You want Chevy, go to the right. You want Mazda? Because I didn't even have enough time to say, hey, what kind of car do you have? Here comes Lee, and it's like, oh, man, come with me. Let me show you. And then having him come back and not dress me down is just almost like with that fatherly disappointment of like, that's not how we take care of people. I mean, the right way is to walk her down to the stairs, walk her up the stairs, open the door for her, go over, across the way, open up that door, introduce her to somebody. So she's comfortable, she's made it to the right place, and that we value the business. What you did was you made it seem like she was an inconvenience to you. Customers are the purpose of our day.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. We have moved the proceedings indoors here. It's getting a bit warm, and the country music just a touch too loud.
Oh, you didn't like the country music?
I didn't like it at all, actually. No.
I think some of that on my Spotify account, actually.
Oh, Dave.
I got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you had that song that was being cranked out there?
I did.
Did you know who it was?
Luke Bryan.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I also know some of the other, on the other end of the spectrum.
The rap songs that we're playing?
Yeah. I have Run DMC a lot, old school.
That's not who was playing.
No, I said.
Oh, I thought you said that's who was playing in the,
no,
in the
that
gym.
was Luke Bryan.
No. When we first got there, the rap music that was playing.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
They hired somebody to go in the background for like 4 minutes.
It's money well spent.
Oh, maybe it was electronic. I don't know.
Money well spent. Meanwhile, we were talking about DeMarcus Lawrence in the previous segment. We had a conversation with Byron Murphy. If you guys missed any part of that, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. But DeMarcus Lawrence is a guy that's come in and seems to have had a presence and had an impact on guys here in that locker room. And as we mentioned in the last segment, as soon as you mentioned his name to Byron Murphy, he just started laughing and smiling. So just seems like he's a guy that's had an impact. And Mike Macdonald talking after practice about what stands out to him about DeMarcus Lawrence when they watch him on tape.
Probably the best compliment I have. He looks like a giant on film, so hopefully that paints a picture for you. I don't know what his actual measure. I think he's like 6'3" and something, 250 and something, but that's how he plays.
Yeah, I mean, and everything you hear from a lot of, some of the older guys is just that, like, he's a very old school type of player. I mean, he's incredibly versatile. We know that. And, if you look at his look at his sack totals, and 61.5 sacks for him in 11 years. And, he plays all up and down that defensive line. And that's the thing, they always talk about that, they're multiple, and you're going to see guys lined up everywhere. That was one thing I wanted to ask Byron, but didn't get a chance. But, just how far out of, being a defensive tackle does he line up? But, these guys are also versatile that you're going to see, I think, every once in a while you'll see DeMarcus Lawrence in the A gap, between the center and the guard. So, yeah, and, just everything I've heard about, whether it's his connection with other people and everybody kind of seems to know who he is. And you get him and Jaron Reed together, who also is a little bit crazy, and I love that about him. Yeah, I think that's going to be a really good group.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. I'm just excited to see how they start the season as compared to what we saw, through the first half of last year. Mike Macdonald breaking down just how he feels about, their edge rushers so far.
I think our guys are practicing their tails off right now. So there's a lot of great stuff on tape. A lot of competition kind of after, without Chenna being up right now, after the three guys. So, we'll see how that kind of shakes out on how, there's different skill sets too. So we kind of, special teams is going to be a big part of it. But we do have some flexibility on D-line too. Like, we played Leo at D end. And so we've been able to kind of get through without necessarily having a ton of edge guys.
Yeah, I was watching Aiden Dirty kind of coach through some of the moves that they're using. One of them, I forgot to ask Byron about it, but it was like somehow it's like he got his right armpit to the tackle's right armpit. So it was like a cross move almost, and then just kind of try to fight your way through with your elbow. And it looked almost like a Reggie White, like hip toss thing that he used to do. And then, trying to catch a guy's arm and get it up in the air, and that, raises their center of gravity and just all kinds of, great pass moves that they're working on the inside. And that's the thing about Aaron Donald that I saw. He just had an amazing repertoire of moves where he's going to bull rush you, or he's going to swim you, or, sometimes you try a rip move and then you turn it to a swim move. I mean, there's just all kinds of things that go on in there that happen really quickly. And a lot of times you don't pick up on the broadcast or whatever, but it just looks like a really daunting group at that D-line just because of all the experience and versatility.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about depth at all these different positions. Do you feel like they're deep? I mean, Uchenna, we don't know what's going to go on with him, and he's on the PUP list as we speak. He's a guy that's only played in 6 games last year, 6 games the year before. He's just not been available. So I'm kind of almost removing him from the conversation when we talk about depth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. I think, I like seeing Drake Thomas look really good if you're just looking at linebackers just in general. But on this list, they include guys like Boye Mafe and Derek Hall, who is, by all reports, just having a monster camp. And I think that, DeMarcus Lawrence is kind of helping bring him along and just get back to that nastiness. I was talking to Ray Roberts we were talking about a player that is just too nice. And that's the thing when you bring a guy in, and I, use the term goon, but when you got a guy like Jaron Reed and DeMarcus Lawrence and Hankins as well, that's an older guy. I think he's in like 10th or 11th year. Those guys, they've been around, and they're nasty, and I love that about them. So that's great leadership there. And then you're starting to see some of that kind of rub off on Derek Hall. Yeah. Who are the two guys that got in a fight on the sidelines last year? Derek Hall and Jaron Reed. And, Jay Reed was kind of enforcing the standard, and he was 100% right, but that's just kind of how it gets down there. And that's sort of where that whole defense all starts, with that interior part of the defensive line. That's where you see guys, when they play in this defense, they just have career years. And so
didn't Hall and Bradford have a little back and forth today?
Yeah, that's right. And I wasn't surprised. Anthony Bradford, of course. I mean, he got in I think a couple of fights his rookie year actually on the field. One was in a PAT on that Monday night game against the Giants. Just wasn't willing to take anybody's crap. Now, you can't have people doing that all the time, but it is an indicator that, if you have a standard like that, like I said, there's always an enforcer or a goon. And, typically, on defense, it's Jaron Reed, but now he's got some company.
Did they ever refer to you as a goon?
No, I don't think anybody ever put it that way, but I was probably goon.
Clayton.
Yeah, maybe.
You and the goons at AT&T.
That's right.
But a goon's more of a hockey term, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. But, yeah, I mean, it's also, they got it from somewhere. I mean, it's just somebody who, I don't know, likes to mix it up, likes to fight, is, willing to fight for, not stand for anything. And I was talking to Ray about this, like between offensive and defensive linemen, like a lot of times it's like that last little push.
Yeah.
And then Ray'd be like, well, I'm going to push you. And he started demonstrating on me, which I hate when that happens. Because like he's pushing me and I'm like, Ray, I know you're only 250, but you got really long arms. Like his arms are like a cobra strike, basically. But no,
I think I understand. No further explanation.
I remember having teammates like that on the sidelines and like, and then I came in and did this and this. And I'm like, just use your words.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't get finger twisted or whatever.
Let's not reenact. I got you.
But yeah, I mean, and that's kind of how those fights start is that, you're not in pads, you're not full go. Nobody, one guy's going 75, the other guy's going 100. And that you never want to give in. You never want to be the guy that, gets pushed last. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think those guys, and I would say DeMarcus Lawrence, probably the enforcer on that team.
All right, coming up, how might a potential lockout in 2027 affect the Mariners at the deadline this season? We'll get into that conversation coming up next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BlowingClassic.com for more.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at Seahawks.com/pro shop.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Get in the game at Hoops on the Pier. Friends of Waterfront Park and Rise Above are hosting a 2-day youth basketball camp at Pier 62 for ages 6 to 16. It's free, it's fun, and it's right on the water. July 31st and August 1st. Plus, open courts during the afternoons. Open to all ages and abilities. Don't have a basketball? No worries. We have a ball for you. Live out your Hoops dreams on the waterfront. More info at waterfrontparkseattle.org. Brought to you by Friends of Waterfront Park.
Motorcycle accident cases require a thorough investigation by a team of experienced legal professionals if they have any chance of being successful. Insurance companies, juries, and even the police tend to assume the worst about motorcycle riders. Get help from an experienced team of attorneys that have successfully resolved hundreds of motorcycle accident cases over the past 30 years. Call Davis Law Group for a free legal consultation or get my free book on motorcycle accidents at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh. Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners get back to it tonight. Game 2 in Sacramento at Sutter Health Park, which is the home of the Athletics. Game 1 going the Mariners' way. A tremendous outing by Luis Castillo and Ben Williamson, really the hero of that game. They look to do it again tonight when they send Logan Evans to the hill. He faces off against Luis Severino. That happens at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. 7:05 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. One final on the day. Game 1 of a doubleheader went to the Orioles in a big way, 16-4 over the Blue Jays. Game 2 is underway right now with the Blue Jays out to a 1-0 lead. That one headed to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the first in Detroit, the Diamondbacks out to a 1-0 lead over the Tigers. Guardians up 2-0 on the Rockies right now. That one in the top of the second in Cleveland. Just about to get underway. Yankees hosting the Rays. Same is true for the Reds. Hosting the Dodgers. Braves on the road to take on the Royals. And the Red Sox facing the Twins in Minnesota.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. You guys can weigh in on whatever's on your mind. Seahawks, Mariners. Mariners getting back to it tonight. Game 2 coming your way between the Mariners and the A's. Game 1 going the way of the Mariners, which was great to see, and hopefully we'll see a repeat of that tonight. Meanwhile, deadline coming up on Thursday. And we're going to be out at the ballpark Friday doing our show live from T-Mobile Park up there in the booth. So that'll be good. We'll be able to react to whatever additional moves. And I assume there will be additional moves made to this team by Jerry and Justin. And we'll talk about what they've done. But, You know, the Mariners, they've got some holes to fill, certainly, much like a lot of teams out there. And Jeff Passan was talking about this with Brock and Salk and talking about what he thinks they could add that would make them the favorites in the American League.
If they get, I think after I was on last week, you know, Logan Gilbert went out and absolutely shoved, and then we saw 4 innings in his last start that looked like classic Logan Gilbert, and it was a little rough after that. But if they get the pitching, and if they get just another arm, maybe 2 out of the bullpen to solidify it, this is a good team. This is a team that can win the American League, and I say that more because the American League is just kind of than the fact that the Mariners are great. But, hey, you play the hand that you're dealt, and every team in the American League right now has been dealt a hand where nobody else is that much better than them that they have no excuse not to go for it at this point.
I like how he describes it, much like everybody else that covers the sport describes it, kind of, the American League is, you just don't have that team. It'll be interesting to see who ultimately comes out of it and plays in the World Series. I would imagine whoever represents the National League might be the favorites. Yeah. But it's just been, you know, and it's across baseball. I think the American League more than the National League. But even the National League with the Dodgers have had some rough go of it. And despite how much they've spent on the team, they don't look unbeatable by any stretch. And guys that, I mean, I love Mookie Betts, but he's been scuffling. And you've had guys in that lineup that have been struggling. So, yeah, everybody's there to be had.
Yeah, I mean, he mentions adding, you know, more pitching, and I know JP had talked about that, getting the starting pitching. But I don't know, I could see bullpen if they make a move here in the next couple of days. Bullpen would not surprise me. But one question I had last night watching that game, because you saw not only Ben Williamson have this amazing, defensive game, and then also, had a couple of hits, and then you see, the highlight of Geno Suarez getting hit on the hand, and you're like, oh man, you feeling better about, going forward with, Ben Williamson as far as, what he provides for you defensively. And I mean, can you get by? Because I know that everybody was saying, you need it at the corners.
Right.
You need it not just at first base, you need it at third base as well. Mm-hmm. Feel any different about that, and I know it was just one game, but really he's been pretty solid and made a lot of plays like that, and, batting over 250. So I don't know. That's just one thing that came to mind is like, maybe he's heard all of the, the rumors and trade rumors and all that, and, maybe got a little chip on his shoulder. I don't know. But I felt a lot better about, I was when I saw Geno Suarez get hit, I was like, oh no, just in case. Just in case they might have that in the works. But I don't know, it wasn't as after a second, I was like, well, Ben Williamson playing really good at third.
That's been true all year. But as far as do I feel differently about it after that game? No. I mean, you still need production from that spot. And if he started hitting home runs all of a sudden, then maybe I would be going, all right, the kid's starting to find it. He's getting comfortable. He's going to develop that power. Maybe you'd have. I don't know, maybe you'd have a little bit more patience. And look, he's 24 years old. He's not done growing. He's not done getting bigger and stronger. And I would imagine that'll be, top of the priority list in the offseason is to work on developing that power. But, if you have the opportunity to bring that to your team right now, you do it. And if you take a bit of a step back, like hypothetically, if Geno did come back, he doesn't have the range that Ben Williamson has, but he's a good third baseman. He's got a better arm than Williamson has. So you're trading off a little bit defensively there. But if he's going to provide that production that you're missing, then no, you go for that. I don't feel differently about making a move there.
Yeah. Well, I think everything's already in the bag anyway, as far as what they've decided they're going to do. But yeah, I actually would be surprised at this point if they didn't bring in bullpen help, but
yeah, I think they absolutely will. I've got no doubt who it's going to be. I don't know.
Today's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. we got a couple days.
Oh,
I'm like,
I thought you were going to make a declaration.
When's it going to happen?
Yeah, well, we played that cut from Jerry where he talked about bullpen arms are typically the last thing that the last guys to go, if you will, before the deadline. So I'm kind of expecting we hear something maybe. You could hear something today, certainly, but I would think tomorrow and certainly on Thursday.
I remember we were out here for the trade a couple of years ago, and I think it was right on the Seawald trade. I think it was right at the deadline, I believe, and I think we were out here actually. And I remember everybody was not happy about the Seawald trade.
Yeah, you're right.
There were some people who were screaming about it out here. They were at Seahawks training camp.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, you're right. That's right. There you go, Mike. Yeah, they absolutely were screaming. Lots of people were
poorly received.
Really pissed.
It was poorly received.
Yeah, I remember it rippling through because we were sitting out there, and then practice is finishing up. You're like, whoa, what? Oh, and it was, I think, deadline day is when it happened.
Yeah, so Jerry has sort of reiterated that with his comments. I think that thing's crapping out on you there, Lefko. Yeah, weird. Something in here broke. But
it's funny. It stays on when I push it. I don't think Mike's strong enough to push the button.
Mike, you got to put some muscle into that button. Oh, great! You just broke it. But yeah, you're right. It did happen on the last day. So, and Jerry said that in that cut that we played, that typically the relievers are going to be the last ones you hear about. So we'll see if they pick up another bat in the meantime. Certainly know they're working on it. Jeff Passan talking more about this. Just sort of breaks down what the final 48 hours before the deadline are going to be like.
Last year, the last 2 days were particularly busy, but I'm not sure that there are going to be any huge names that go. It's going to be really interesting to see where Suarez winds up. The acute need in Chicago isn't quite as much, with Matt Shaw hitting 4 home runs over his last 9 games and looking more potentially like an everyday solution. I haven't gotten the sense that Cincinnati is going to be in huge there. Detroit maybe, Philadelphia maybe, but I also don't think that the Mariners are going to give up one of their top prospects for a rental bat, regardless of how good Eugenio Suarez actually is. So it's going to be interesting to see from the Mariners' perspective, can they thread that needle with Suarez, or are they going to devote their attention more to trying to pick up guys around the margins?
Yeah, I think there's a huge disconnect between like your typical Mariner fans that are looking at the prospects and the way that management values them. Mm-hmm. I think, and I would have to say I'm one of them, because I'm like, okay,
in what way you think?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I mean, the number 2 guy, the number 3 guy, whatever, the names that we've talked about, whether it's Senja or Harry Ford
Emerson,
or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, but they're prospects. They're prospects, but. Yeah, I mean, and again, I was so shocked to see that they had to get rid of was it Brandon Garcia and Ashton Izzy. Those were 2 names. I mean, if they hadn't called Garcia up prior to that, I wouldn't have known who he was. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting, what people think and how much Jerry values those prospects.
Yeah, and they do have value. I mean, you're not just going to give these guys away, but they are currency to a certain extent. But even in that sense, it's got to be the right deal. If hypothetically Arizona's out there going, all right, we want your number 1, your number 3, and your number 10 prospects in exchange for a guy who's going to be with you for 50-plus games potentially, and that's it. I mean, there's a point where you're going, look, no, we're not going to do that. These guys may be superstars, they may be turn into nothing, or somewhere in between. Nobody knows. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, they do carry value. You're not just going to deal Colt Emerson for nothing because you think this one bat's going to help you in the past couple of months. You're going to want to feel like you got equal return on some level there.
Yeah, I guess it's just that having gone to the playoffs once in 25 years just makes it seem much more urgent.
Oh, it's urgent.
Yeah,
it's definitely
much more.
There definitely should be some urgency there for that reason. Most of all, the other being this is an opportunity because, as Passan put it, the AL is it's not great, so it's there to be had. And then third, you got the potential of a lockout coming up here in 2027, and it feels like it's on almost certainty based on the story that happened with Bryce Harper and Rob Manfred, and we'll talk about that later in the show. But Passan talked about why teams are making trades with that potential lockout in mind.
After this year, Griffin Jax has 2 years of club control remaining. The 2026 season is going to be great, and he would be an incredible bridge alongside Matt Brash to Andres Munoz, or if Munoz has pitched too much, he would be a guy who is a perfect candidate to close. What about 2027 when there might not be a season? Don't you have to factor that in, guys? when you're considering the price that you're willing to pay for a guy who has 2 years of club control. And now, I'm not sitting here and saying that there isn't going to be a 2027 season. Frankly, I think there's too much to lose for both the players and the league to shoot themselves in the foot that way.
I hope he's right. I'm on the more pessimistic side of just how they're dealing with each other. And it seems like, and again, we'll get deeper into the details of the story, but it feels like the league is really trying to push the idea of a salary cap. And the players are having none of it. So is there a happy medium in there? Is there something? I don't know how you sort of pacify the owners and pacify the players, and everybody feels like they kind of won on some level. But right now, that seems to be the kind of the story that's a bargaining chip. Like, this is what we're kind of pointing towards. This is what we're sort of dipping our toe in the water and seeing what the reaction is going to be, and the reaction is poor.
Yeah, well, and baseball has always been known to have one of the strongest unions, right? So, yeah, I could see that as well, and especially the reaction by Bryce Harper, which we'll talk about. But I mean, I that was like, wow, that was pretty bold move, him yelling at the commissioner. So,
and I don't think it's unique. I think maybe he's unique that he verbalized it in the way that he did, but I don't think his position is unique.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, we'll see. But as it pertains to teams making moves, yeah, I would think, as he said, you have to keep in mind, we're gonna pay extra for this guy because he's got 2 years of control. Well, you may not that second year may be for naught. It may not have the value that you think it does.
Right.
So a team where normally it might drive up the asking price because they're giving you a player like, look, you got 2 years of this guy before you have to deal with free agency or extension, whatever you're going to do with him. So we're going to ask for this in return. Well, that changes a little bit with the idea of this potential work stoppage in 2027.
Yeah, no, that's a very interesting dynamic to roll into the how teams are thinking about as far as the trade deadline goes.
Yeah, other things going on there. Cal Raleigh looks like he could be the front runner now with Aaron Judge out of the mix, which I know puts a smile on your face, Dave. And every Seattle Mariner fan should be excited about that. Look, I hope Judge isn't out for long because I want him to beat him. I want him to. Yeah. I don't want it to be Judge is out, so he was the next guy. But it would be fun to have him, go down to the wire, and it's the two of them, and we're watching the home run count, and what did Judge do today? What did Cal do today? That makes it fun. But Jeff Passan talking about that, just talking about the impact of Judge hitting the IL and what that does to this MVP race.
Potentially profound. I mean, Cal's the betting favorite now, and I think that may have been a little bit too much of the pendulum swinging in the other direction, but when we're looking at counting stats, they matter. I don't know that they matter quite as much as like a triple slash to voters anymore. I think that OPS and the lead that Judge has there is still going to be difficult to overcome. But if you have significantly more home runs for Cal Raleigh, if he's ahead in runs batted in, if he's ahead in total bases, and more than anything, just if he's played more, like, to me, that would be the tiebreaker.
Yeah. So how many would that be? How many home runs? Could people? I mean, could Judge have 6 less? Is it 7 less? To a point where like people are going, come on, Cal Raleigh. I mean, I know that the big media market in New York is a huge influence, but I feel like there's so much. It's such an uphill battle for Cal, and he talked about his average and his OPS, and yeah, that's pretty impressive. But if he misses a number of games and finishes like 5 to 10 home runs less than Cal, and Cal doesn't get the MVP, I'm going to start a riot. I'm going to set my car on fire.
You should. That'll teach him. Yeah, that'll teach him a very valuable lesson.
I would invite somebody else to set it on fire, so I wouldn't have that whole arson.
Why are you looking at Lefko?
The whole arson thing? Yeah, I was looking at Lefko.
Yeah, well, here's the other part that could have an impact is when Judge does come back, are they going to be reluctant to put him in the field with that? They don't want him throwing a ball. Yeah. Is he going to be strictly a DH at that point? Jeff Passan talks about what that could mean to the race.
There's a realistic possibility that if his elbow doesn't recover, that he's going to be designated hitter for the rest of the season. And then the defensive difference between the two grows even greater every game he plays at DH. So I think I said earlier this year, guys, that it would take something, an injury, something like that, for Cal to have a real shot. I think he's got a real shot now.
Well, and I would think also, I mean, it would start to sort of, especially if Cal, like, how many games do you think he's going to end up taking off this year? I mean, has he only had one so far?
No, has he had
three?
Three full days off?
Yeah. So I thought one of those days that they brought him in as a DH or something. But yeah, I mean, the number of games, and I think people are going to start to really appreciate, what he does and what he means to, the starting rotation, and then just all of the notoriety that he got. I honestly think that little video of him being a little kid, talking about being the home run derby champion, I feel like that'll reach a lot of people as well. But yeah, just the, I don't know, day in, day out grind of squatting behind the, and then all of a sudden, if you're not, you don't have Aaron Judge playing any defense and he's just the DH. I don't know. I could see a way where, he could have a good chance of winning this thing.
Yeah, he absolutely can. I mean, look, I don't think Cal's a mystery to anybody. I don't think the voters are unaware of him. I don't think they're.
No, not now, right?
No, I don't think they were before. I just think it was more about, Judge's numbers were so gaudy outside of the home, and he was neck and neck in home runs, but his average, I mean, he was hitting up close to 400 for a couple of months. He was in the 370s. He was, it's come back down to earth, but his numbers were just so ridiculous that it was like, yeah, you're going to tip your hat to Cal and talk about how, the wear and tear of playing catcher, and all of that is true. But look at you can't ignore what this guy is doing. And now, if those numbers came back, they did come back to earth a bit, and Cal's going to continue to grow his numbers, presumably with power and runs driven in, and we'll see what happens with his average and things like that. But, I think that him closing the gap on those categories goes a long way. I don't think, I was never under the impression people weren't aware of him, or weren't, we're tucked up here in the corner of the country. Look, if you cover baseball, you know who Cal Raleigh is. And those are the guys that are voting. Those are the people that are voting. So,
and you hear more of those people, by the way. Excuse me for interrupting, but I think you hear more and more of those people talking about Cal and how, the appreciation for it. And it's almost like they're selling him, the way that they talk about him. So, yeah.
Yeah, he gets a lot of focus, a lot of love on MLB Network. They talk about him a lot, and I do think the home run derby went a long way into sort of just cementing that. Like, okay, yeah, we've been kind of keeping an eye on this, and look at what he came out here and did, and he is a great story. So, yeah, I don't think he was ever going to be a victim of being unknown or anything. Certainly, the profile of Aaron Judge is huge. When you play for the Yankees, you can't help but see him everywhere. Yeah. His profile is certainly bigger. He's a much bigger star in the way of notoriety and all of that. But when it comes to the voters, I'm putting some faith in their ability to understand who's who in this league, and that's what they're voting on, the guys that they cover. So, yeah, I think, look, you hate to see a guy get hurt. It feels like if depending on how long he's out, and is he going to be a DH for the rest of the year, how much does this injury perhaps affect his performance? Does it alter his mechanics at the plate? I mean, we have no idea what this injury is going to mean. I want to see Cal beat him at full strength. Look, the injury happens, it happens. That's not Cal's fault. You continue doing what you're doing, and if you win the award, it doesn't cheapen it at all. I just want to see that neck-and-neck battle. I like the idea of just kind of looking at the box scores every night. What did Judge do tonight? Just coming down to the final 10 games or something, 15 games, and they're neck and neck. That's fun to me. But
yeah. Well, and also it would suck if, he wins it and then people are saying, well, it's because, Aaron Judge. And so you want him to earn it the right way, right?
Yeah.
Win it the right way.
Plus, it's compelling. It's fun when, it's sort of like we talk about rivalries. We talk about the Seahawks 49. It's fun when there's something on the line, whether it's the Astros and the Mariners, and that's what makes that rivalry fun, or makes you pay attention all the way to the end, right? You're not gonna miss the end of this movie. You got to follow it through. So I want to see the end of this movie. I want to see them battle it out. So I'm rooting for Judge to be healthy. I'm hoping this is going to be just a short stint on the IL. He comes back. He's able to play in the field. He's not going to be strictly a DH. And then we're going to be checking this thing out till the final games of the season and going, okay, This could go either way. What happened here? That's fun stuff for me. But meanwhile, she was in Cooperstown for Ichiro's Hall of Fame induction. We're going to check in with our Mariners insider, Shannon Drayer. She's going to join us next. It's Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center, Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Swedish Cyberknife, and we had Andy Ryder, the mayor of Lacey, and a Swedish Cyberknife patient. We had him and Dr. Landis from Swedish Cyberknife in studio a couple of weeks ago, and a couple of things about Swedish Cyberknife treatment that really stood out. Number one, it only takes 5 sessions. So Andy, the mayor of the mayor of Lacey, was able to get the whole thing done in just 5 treatment sessions, and each session lasts only an hour. So he was able to complete the treatment, and he was continuing to work full time. And each treatment session lasts less than an hour, so he was able to remain comfortable during treatment. He was able to wear street clothes, didn't experience many side effects other than just being a little bit tired. But you compare that with other treatment methods for prostate cancer, where you have to have surgery or you have a catheter. I mean, it is night and day. And also, it was really cool to see the relationship between Andy and Dr. Landis. Andy holds him in very high regard, and rightfully so. Dr. Landis is a multiple-time recipient of the Seattle Top Doctor Award. And we talk about building a sports team and trying to find stars. Swedish Cyberknife truly has that. And it's an all-pro roster of doctors and world-renowned experts in their field, just like Dr. Landis. So Swedish Cyberknife, they treat patients from all over the state, and you don't need a physician referral. You can reach out to them directly. So if you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy Chicken Biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in a combo while supplies last.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-298-7906. 800-298-7906.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed all in. Plus get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We had a lot of fun yesterday playing some cuts from Ichiro's speech at Cooperstown, where I thought he just crushed it out there, his induction into the baseball's Hall of Fame. And we had our own Mariners insider on the scene. Shannon Drayer was there front and center, and she is now with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook hotline. Hello, Shannon.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back, and take us through that event there. That, you know, on TV, I thought it came off very well. One thing that was odd to me, when they'd show, they had a camera shot from like behind the seats looking at the stage, and it looked like there were a lot of empty seats there. And then they'd show a different camera angle that was kind of from the stage looking out, where it looked packed. So it was kind of, what was the crowd like out there?
You know what? I'm not sure what happened. Ichiro's speech was last. And I did notice that before he went, there were a few more empty seats. I mean, it was completely full at the beginning. The whole thing was delayed an hour because of the weather. But it looks like some people left early, and it might have actually been the Hall of Famers group, because they brought a lot of people. Each Hall of Famer could bring basically whoever they wanted with them. And so I kind of question if maybe one of the bigger groups left early, and that's why you saw that, because it was really just in the front rows where you saw that. The rest of the place, everybody hung in there with the weather. It rained earlier in the day, and then the temperatures, reached what they do in the summer there. But, yeah, it was kind of an odd seat. Your eyes weren't fooling you. There were empty seats at the front when Ichiro went, but they were all full at the beginning.
Shannon, I heard somebody talking about their favorite part going there is just all the different, players that you see in Hall of Famers. Who did you see back there? And was that kind of one of the cool attractions that you were able to see, a lot of these old Hall of Fame baseball players?
I think there was a time where you could do that, and this was not it anymore. It used to be that you could walk down the main street there, and they would have different autograph signings in different places, and it would be kind of some of the older Hall of Famers. And now, sadly, I think some of the bigger autograph companies and businesses have taken that over, and they've kind of put them all in one place. So it's really not an instance where you are going to run into a Hall of Famer on every corner. A funny story was I was walking down Main Street and doing a little bit of a tour for a video I was doing and talking my way through it. And when I came up the steps to the Hall of Fame, I could see that there was somebody that everybody was surrounding to get autographs with. So I took the video, and I'm like, well, let's see who that is. And I waded my way through the crowd, got up to the front. It was Mike Cameron. So it was like the one person that I would know there. And he was signing autographs for a while. That's, people are very excited to be able to get his autograph. But you don't see a lot of Hall of Famers anymore out in the wild.
What was your as I said, I thought Ichiro crushed it. I loved his speech. I loved he showed his sense of humor. His Rick Riz impersonation was great. I loved that. And the shot he took at the voter saying his dinner invitation has expired. Really, I mean, he got everything in there that I hoped he would. The only thing I guess I was hoping for, Shannon, was maybe more of a shot at Junior, just messing with him. He didn't really do anything with Junior. But what was your overall feeling about his speech up there?
I was really touched by the whole thing. I think that, he spent a lot of time, Ichiro, anytime that you talk to him in an interview setting, there is going to be some sort of wisdom that he imparts in that. There's going to be a story. There's going to be a lesson. And he had some lessons in that speech. And for him, he felt it was important that he do the speech in English, in part that it was more relatable, and also in that he was hoping that the audience could probably feel the emotions that he had at the time. So to me, I really love that he was able to do that, all the while having the humor that we kind of know him for. So I think he hit on all the right notes.
Yeah, and also, it's not surprising, right, with his work ethic. We heard that he was there. Was he taking batting practice or something?
He was playing catch
or something. No, it's just amazing, and just the influence that he had on other players, Shannon. I can't imagine being a teammate with that guy and, cutting off a workout early or whatever. I mean, it's amazing. That's the other thing that came through is like how, honorable his dedication is to just the game of baseball and how much he loves it. And I'm sure that that definitely rubbed off on players over the years.
Yeah, I think it did, and it rubbed off on the Hall of Famers. I love what Billy Wagner said about throwing to him. He really didn't know him. He faced him only once in the big leagues, but he went out and threw batting practice to him on Saturday. So he had two Hall of Famers out there, one pitching and one hitting, and he said he was locked in. He was taking it seriously, and he got a kick out of that. But, he said he could see the love of the game that Ichiro had and the enjoyment that he was taking from it. And then Ichiro played catch with his son. I mean, what a thrill, even if your dad is the Hall of Famer, to get to do that with Ichiro. So, seeing that it wasn't just a workout, it was also kind of doing a little something for somebody else, and also the kind of wonderment that Billy Wagner had in really encountering him for the first time. Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, whatever it was, but he really enjoyed the experience and spoke about it a couple of times.
Yeah, it was just I thought he nailed it. Cool event, and really paying a cool tribute to his wife, talking about eating hot dogs in the stands as a fan, and that was the best moment of his career. He nailed it. He just nailed it. By the way, was there any rumor of who the one vote was, who that voter was, or are we still in the dark?
No, we're still in the dark on that. We're still in the dark on the Griffey voters, and I think you would have some key words about who those voters are and how they are not showing their faces, Bob.
Yes, I would. I've got many words, Shannon, that I can't say here, so we'll just move on from that. But hey, let's get your impression on this team, and I love the Naylor move, love it, and I think he's huge for this lineup. I'm hoping it works out in a way that he feels great about being here. They feel great about having him, and they re-sign him. But we'll leave that for the future. What do you see happening? We're 2 days away. I think we're all expecting a bullpen arm. We're all on Geno watch as well. But what do you realistically expect this team to do prior to the deadline?
Well, I know they're working hard right now, and I know that they're working hard on one, if not two, bullpen arms, just kind of hearing in some different areas that they've been checking in on, and that is one that you get a lot of hits on. And I do think that right-handed bat remains important to them, and nobody knows where the Suarez thing is going to go. So I think that there are some other areas that they are looking as well. Doesn't mean that they've closed that door, but they don't want to be left unprotected. I think they would really like to have another bat by this time on Thursday, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens there. It doesn't hurt that Ben Williams is really showing his value defensively, and I think it really opens the eyes to what he could be moving forward. What that does right now, well, he can only take so many steps. I did a pregame interview with him earlier, and I just went and I looked up to see, how much experience has he had in the minors? He's only played and 109 games above single A before he got the call-up. So this is a player that when you look at the offense, it's still developing. He said he is learning every day, and he is still seeing things, offensively at the plate that he hasn't seen before. And so, if a move is made, there's still very much a place on this team for him, and perhaps, even a bigger role in the future. I don't think he necessarily is offensively right now, what he's showing now, what he can be. If the Mariners need more help right now and they're able to find it for this push, great. I hope we see that. Everybody wants to see them do whatever it takes to make this club better. But I don't think you forget about what you have seen from Williamson, and I think that they have learned that he's probably more than they thought he was coming in.
What are your impressions? I know you've been in Cooperstown, Shannon, but as far as Josh Naylor, last night there was a throw that was a kind of a one-hopper, and you could see, I think it was Demo that kind of went, my bad or whatever, and he just shook him off like, no problem, man. And then, when he hits the home run, he gets in the, they give him the trident, and he kind of ditched it like, hey, you guys hold this while I go high-five these guys. But he looks like he's angry after he hits home runs. He's just got such an attitude that I love. It's kind of like a killer instinct or whatever. But, yeah, just your impressions so far of what you know about him.
There's definitely an edge to him, and I've talked to some of the players, and they very much like the move. They might not know him too well, but players talk to other players, and it is one that got the thumbs up without question in that clubhouse. In watching him, we saw what we saw last night, a lot of the stuff that you talked about, but really what got me today was I came in really early to do the Cal Raleigh show and tape that, and he was the one player who was out in the batting cage, on the field, it's hot here. I won't attach anything to that, but it's really hot here at work with Seitzer, probably for the better part of 45 minutes. And he's playing tonight. So I actually went back to look to see if he was in the lineup because of the work that he was doing. He then, and this is well before anything is scheduled, went out and worked one-on-one with a trainer and was going through some different things, some things that look pretty football to me, actually. So I had heard he was a worker and he was a preparer, but it was on full display at about 1:30 on the field here today. So that was great to see.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, Shannon, we're up against the break, but I got to ask you quickly. You brought up Dylan. He was in there for JP last night, and he's about as lost as I've ever seen him. I mean, he's had 2 hits in 2 months. I mean, it doesn't get much worse. And we were just talking about what's the right solution. I'm sure Edgar and Seitzer are working with him, and he's doing all the work. It's not about effort, but if you're Dan, do you keep running him out there? Do you just still play the lefty-righty matchup? I'm of the opinion I would just leave Rayleigh in there, or Canzone in there when a lefty comes up. I know their splits aren't great, but I feel better about their chances right now than where Dylan Moore is. He's not hitting lefties at all. He's not hitting anybody at this point. So what do you see them doing to sort of rectify that?
Well, I think that they have really cut back on his playing time. I mean, you saw a lot more of him as soon as 2 weeks, up until about the All-Star break. They gave him a lot of run there, and he was in there last night because JP needed the day off. He's going to be your shortstop when that happens. And I don't think, it's still probably, you do see him pinch hitting on occasion, but I do think they're probably a little short on the bench. We haven't seen Luke Rayleigh in a few days, and I suspect the oblique is acting up on him. It's something that we need to ask about, and I think that that's probably playing into it as well. But I've noticed that ever since we came out of the gates, maybe a little bit before that, Dan is not as militant in that we're just going left, right here when it comes to replacements. You're seeing more of the veterans in there. You're seeing other, different ways to find Polanco in there, different ways to get Solano in there. And it doesn't matter if their numbers aren't the best at the time. If you got a tough pitcher on the other side, they've seen that guy, and that is worth something as opposed to sometimes a young player where maybe it's better to sit them against that guy early on. So I do think he is managing things a little bit differently, and that absolutely goes for Dylan as well.
Shannon, stay cool out there. We appreciate it as always, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. You got it, guys.
Thanks, Shannon.
There you go. There's our Mariners insider, Shannon Drayer, joining us from Sacramento, where she said, it's hot. It's hot out there. Meanwhile, how widespread is the gambling issue becoming in baseball? We're going to hear more about that when we sweep the dial. That is coming up next with Wyman and Bob, live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music of the year.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Overburdened with a bunch of stuff you don't want anymore, but feel bad throwing it away? John here with Happy Hauler, Seattle's eco-friendly junk removal. We prioritize donating and recycling. We'll help get your items to those in need instead of going to the landfill. At Happy Hauler, we pride ourselves on responsibility, community, and sustainability. We're a family-run small business that provides junk removal, donations, and recycling. Make yourself, your community, and the planet happy. It's time to reclaim your space. HappyHauler.com, hauling with a heart.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Rick Riz here, and it's the final month to submit your nomination for Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program. Pella's owners are donating $5,000 to 2 local youth sports organizations. Many local teams are in need of new equipment, field improvements, or uniforms. If you know a team who could use funding, nominate them at seattlesports.com/play. Join Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington and help our local youth thrive. Go to seattlesports.com/play to nominate a team in need right now.
It's the World Fighting Championships at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Saturday night, October 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing professional mixed martial arts event, the World Fighting Championships, October 25th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the Dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Cooper Kupp spoke yesterday for the first time about how the chemistry is building between him and Sam Darnold out here at training camp.
Yeah, man, it's great. I mean, I think as many reps as you can get are huge. But it's even more than that, just the conversations over and over again, talking football, watching film together, and being able to just discuss what's happening. I think that's just as important as the reps you get out here on the practice field. And those have been great. I mean, I think, Sam and the experiences that he's had, and, playing in this offense before, it goes a long way. Because I'm asking a lot of questions about what's worked for him, how is he seeing this, certain concepts come to life, and it's been really fun to be able to kind of bounce ideas off of each other.
How much of a security blanket is that for a new quarterback? I mean, they're both new. They both have that in common, that they're both new to this team. You're like the new kids in school, so you kind of have that bond, if you will. But, I mean, just having somebody as seasoned and as accomplished as Cooper Kupp to be there for you when you're probably going to be feeling your way through things for a little bit.
Yeah, it's huge. Like, we always would say that, like, if all else fails for Russ, find Tyler Lockett, right?
Yeah, or before Baldwin before him.
Yeah, and then, and I remember that the relationship between D-Jack and Matt Hasselbeck. And, there was always the story about how he would just give him a look like, hey, they're in this defense that we saw in practice, and if they get in that defense, this is what we're going to run, and it just required a look. You just looked over at him, and that's it. So, yeah, I mean, it's huge. By the way, Cooper Kupp, I don't think I ever heard him interviewed. He was always like a guy I'd never.
Well, we had him.
No, I'm talking about before he came here. Yeah, and so just listening to him talk so much now, I mean, I suppose if you're in LA, he was on all the time, but just listening to him, the way he thinks about the game, and then also just, he is such a good football player, man. He just, and this is what we talked about. I didn't necessarily say Cooper Kupp is a better receiver than DK, but I think he's a better football player, and meaning just understands the game inside and out. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, a huge, like a security blanket for Darnold. I feel like he's going to be that guy. He's going to be like, okay, if all else fails, I'm going to throw it up for Cooper Kupp.
Sweeping the Dial.
So linebacker Ernest Jones hasn't been at practice for the past couple of days. Wasn't there today. Wasn't there yesterday either. And Mike Macdonald yesterday gave an update on why Ernest Jones isn't at practice.
Yeah, EJ, another personal matter. Another person. Just for him and his family, could use all of our prayers right now. He's okay. Everything's good, okay, but we love him and he's with his family right now.
Yeah, I'm glad he brought that up, and I can only imagine what's going on there, but that was really nice of him to offer that up. But Ernest Jones since that interview, once we started talking to him, he just has become much more of a special player. So hopefully it's nothing too bad that doesn't, keep him out too much. But yeah, those things pop up every once in a while. It seems like every camp there's something going on with that. And if you feel like it, prayers for Ernest Jones.
Yeah, hopefully, I mean, I don't know what the situation is, obviously, but hopefully everybody around him is okay or headed in the right direction. I don't know if it's injury or sickness or who it is, but hopefully thoughts are with him, certainly.
Sweeping the dial.
We discussed the Emmanuel Clase suspension yesterday. So today, Chris Antonetti, the Guardians' president of baseball operations, had to address the 2 players on his team that have been suspended. And he was asked if he's concerned that they've had 2 now suspended for gambling investigation.
We spent a lot of time, and I think every player is educated on the rules around gambling. And, Major League Baseball had training in spring training for all of our players. It was done in person. It was done in Spanish and in English. So I don't think it's a question of people not knowing the rules. But again, beyond that, I want to be careful. I don't think we should prejudge what the outcome will be other than that we know they have been placed on the non-disciplinary paid suspension.
I like that he put that in there. I don't know if he was anticipating somebody saying, well, do you think he understood? So he's like being very clear. We did that in English and Spanish. Yeah. So everybody had full access to the information. I don't think anybody's under any illusion that they could gamble. Oh, I didn't know I couldn't gamble. Huh. Yeah. I think they know the rules, and maybe it's just as we were talking about yesterday, some sort of rush, some sort of, whatever. They don't need the money.
Right. It's just
presumably.
It's just about being right or whatever. But, I mean, it's surprising to me that professional athletes are gambling. But what's not surprising is that where there's one idiot, there's usually another one.
They're usually not solo.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've got an accomplice.
They got together and thought it was a good idea.
Hey, let's do this. This will be fun. Yeah, it's working out. All right, coming up, we got some questions for him about his Phillies trying to pick fights with MLB commissioners out there. We'll get into all of that. El Hombre, Michael Bradley joins us next. It's Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music of the year.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Immaculate greens, unrivaled natural beauty, championship caliber conditions. Loomis Trail is the epitome of Northwest golf. With water in play on nearly every hole and tree-lined fairways, Loomis Trail provides a fantastic golf experience for those that want a challenge and those looking for a fun getaway. What round are you up for? Tee times available online at golfloomis.com. Start planning your perfect golf getaway today.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at seahawks.com/pro shop.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
For Riverside Roofing, beyond the national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville that's built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the roofing company you can trust. Find them at riversideroofingllc.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, the Mariners get back to it tonight against the A's in Sacramento at Sutter Health Park, the minor league stadium the A's call home for the next 3 seasons. The Mariners take game 1 of that series, looking to take game 2 tonight when they send Logan Evans to the hill. He'll face off against Luis Severino. You can catch it all starting at 6 p.m. with the pregame show. 7:05 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. One final on the day. The Orioles hammer the Blue Jays in game 1 of the doubleheader, 16-4. The final in that one. Meanwhile, game 2 happening right now. They are tied at 2 apiece in the bottom of the 5th. Headed to the top of the 5th in Detroit. Diamondbacks and Tigers are tied at 2 apiece. The Guardians right now putting it on the Rockies in the top of the 5th. 8-1 the score in that one. The Rays are shutting out the Yankees 3-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Right now, top of the 4th. Dodgers up 2-0 on the Reds. Royals with a 1-0 lead over the Braves. It's the Red Sox and Twins just getting underway. Actually, bottom of the 1st in Minnesota. No score there. The Cubs up 1-0 on the Brewers in the bottom of the 2nd. Top of the 2nd, no score between the Phillies and the White Sox. And bottom of the 1st in St. Louis, the Marlins and the Cardinals are scoreless.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
Yeah, you know what you can get me, Pee-wee?
What?
El Hombre.
That was a catastrophe.
I know.
That's a new low.
Yeah.
Roz is better.
El Hombre.
The natural meets Rudy meets... I don't even know how to describe it.
El Hombre.
It is time, everybody. He joins us every Tuesday at 5 p.m. You know him, you love him. He's with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. He's the one, the only El Hombre, Michael Bradley, here with us. How are you, man?
Have I taught you nothing?
Even my get on me about the scoreless?
Yes, huh? I am, because it's in the Phillies. Scoreless. It's now 1-0 because Max Kepler just drove in Castellanos, so the sacrifice fly, 1 out in the second inning. So, anyway,
El Hombre, he's sticking it to you. Sticking it.
He's sticking it to the man.
Yeah, I did. I always tell Dave before this. I'm like, we'll see if Michael responds to this. I'm going to call these games scoreless.
Oh, so you think I'm an easy mark, do you? Okay,
that's right.
All right.
Hey, Michael, before we get into everything else going on in the world of sports, I want to get your reaction to the Hall of Fame ceremonies and more specifically Ichiro's speech, because I thought he nailed it. And I know you've talked about him for a long time being one of your all-time favorite players to watch. And what was your reaction to his speech?
Perfect tenor, right? He strikes right between a little bit of humor, reverence for the game, describing what made him a great player. And, it's funny, for his entire Major League career, he always spoke through an interpreter. And yet it's clear that the man could speak very good English. I guess he just didn't ever want to be misquoted or say something, wrong, and I don't blame him at all for that. But he did a heck of a job. He's just such a tremendous combination of remarkable athletic prowess, a really good personality, and someone who gets it. And it's funny, the more Hall of Fame speeches you listen to, the more the same sort of things repeat, right? Part of the team, being someone who works hard, be humble. Now, Ricky Henderson didn't do that, but his speech was very good too. But humility, respect for the game, respect for your opponents. And yet you got a whole bunch of knuckleheads from ages 8 to 80, and I'm not, whatever, who just don't understand that that's the way to live and be successful.
Yeah. No, you're right, man. It was very, I was thinking about having him as a teammate. Like, that must have been, he has a pretty high bar, right?
Yeah.
If you don't, respect the game, as he mentioned, then, you're no good to him, basically. And I'm very impressed, but I don't know, there's a high price to pay, right? He leads a very disciplined life, but there's also some eccentricity in there as well, man. With him, he was supposedly having a catch, I guess,
and hitting. Him and Wagner. Wagner was supposedly pitching to him out there, and he was taking cuts, and he was playing catch with Wagner's son, and yeah, he's all about He's still.
Here's the question. Do you want to be great?
Yeah.
And I say this to my class at the beginning of every semester. An A is sustained excellence. You're not excellent Tuesday and Friday. You're excellent all the time. And as Dave said, that's hard. It requires tremendous discipline, commitment. It requires a passion for what you are doing. Do you really love what you're doing? Are you committed to being excellent at it? And the greatest ones are the ones who say, I will forsake everything else. We all made fun of Tom Brady for putting ice cream in his mouth and then spitting it out, for having a diet that was, basically eating grubs and berries, and having Michael Jordan, after they lost his when he came back from the baseball hiatus, he called Tim Grover his trainer and said, we're working out tomorrow. I'm not taking a month off. So what are you willing to do to be excellent? And don't expect excellence without paying the price, period.
Yeah, I wonder if, many psychiatrists might say, have a different sort of diagnosis of that like, you're in trouble. Like, that is a lot. I remember J.J. Watt saying that. I remember it was a Hard Knocks, and he was telling one of the young guys about his disciplined day and how he would nap and this and that. And he goes, hey, look, I know it's a lot, but, if you want to be great, that's what you have to do. And so there's just this kind of level of a little bit insanity, really.
Well, he still kind of has it, Michael.
I don't think it's insanity. I think it's compulsion. I think it's but here's the thing. We have been seduced in recent years by the soft. Take it easy. Don't push yourself. Why would you want to make your life hard? And then everybody who isn't like that is looked at as some sort of insane person, right? And I got to admit, I have a somewhat of a compulsion when it comes to my work. I'm not saying that I'm excellent or that I'm great. Please don't mistake this. But I'm in the
You're
office
excellent,
at 7 o'clock
Michael.
in the morning. I'm in the office at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's 8 o'clock my time right now. I'm talking to you knuckleheads, okay? And your stupid sales staff can't even get me $10. So, but I just stopped working, okay? I'm saying I've got my list for tomorrow already. I'll be up at 5:45, ready to go. You have to want to do it. Listen, everybody within the sound of my voice, listen up. I interviewed today a 90-year-old man who is a soccer coach in New Jersey. He's won more than 975 games, multiple state championships. He has a job as the assistant to the head of school in addition to coaching soccer. He is still in the office every day. He's 90. He looks great. He gets up, he walks around, he's sharp as a tack. People call him, hey, Coach Bob Smith from your 72s team. Bob Smith, weren't you the guy that missed a goal in that tie game against Lawrenceville in 19 whatever? The guy's like, he still remembers and he's still giving me a hard time about it. You must want to do it. You need a passion in your lives. Get up and get out of bed and make it happen.
Yeah. Well, you'll be happy to know Ichiro is still doing it. When we're at spring training, he is literally the first guy out there in full uniform, stretching, going through his whole routine. He's the last guy coming off the field, and he's out there every day during the season. He's out there on the field, full uniform, shagging flies, pitching, doing the whole thing. I mean, he's just he loves the game in a way I've never seen another player. So that is very cool.
And I love that. I love that, and that is tremendous, and that is. If you are fortunate enough to find something in your life that brings you that level of joy and sparks that level of passion, you have won. You may not make as much money as the next guy. You may not get the headlines. You may not go to the Hall of Fame. But if when you get out of bed every morning, you've got something that you really want to do, that you love doing, you better keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it, too. I love watching him out there. I get such a kick out of a 51-year-old guy who just – he's like a kid out there, still loves the game. But speaking of the game, Michael, what is your sense of the potential of a work stoppage in 2027? The whole story came out with Bryce Harper letting Rob Manfred know what time it was in the clubhouse with some colorful language, which I loved and I would imagine would make him even more of a hero out there in Philadelphia. But it seems like the big point from ownership is they want to implement a salary cap, and the MLBPA is basically saying that's a non-starter. I don't know that there's a happy medium. It feels almost like there's certainly going to be a work stoppage. But you tell me, am I being too pessimistic about this?
No, you're absolutely being realistic about it, and there is going to be. And that standoff is a perfect metaphor for where the two sides are, which is worlds apart. All right, they could not be any further apart on this. There's a salary cap in football, basketball, and baseball. Now, the NBA salary cap is a joke. I mean, in basketball and hockey, this NBA salary cap is a joke. The 6th envelope, the 14th envelope, you get to pay this, you do that. The Byzantine stuff about the exemptions and the Larry Bird one, it's nuts, but there's still a cap. There's no cap in baseball. The players have fought it successfully since whenever the salary cap concept was introduced. The owners are trying to save themselves from themselves. They want Pittsburgh to be able to stink and not spend any money, and they want them to be able to still get all the benefits. Jeff Passan was on, pardon the interruption today, on the Four Letter Network, and he said, if they mess this one up, if in 2027 they have a full stoppage and cancel the World Series, this is the one that could really cripple baseball, because they won't have the steroids to bring everybody back with the home runs. There is way too much else going on in the world of entertainment to get people to get people back to baseball once they find something else. If I'm the NBA and we're going to 2027, I'm extending my playoffs and the draft. We're going to get into July now. If I'm football, I'm starting a little earlier. I'm giving the people the chance to come even closer to our leagues and further from baseball. But the owners have been and are idiots. As Michael Douglas's character Gordon Gekko says in Wall Street, a fool and his money are lucky enough to get together in the first place. So these guys have been outwitted every time. They haven't been able to get what they wanted. Maybe they can institute a floor. I would be okay with that.
I would be on board with that.
Yeah, but see, the Sixers used to manipulate the floor when they were doing the process, which was one of the biggest jokes in sports history. They would be way under the floor until the trade deadline. Then they'd trade for some expiring contract of some totally cooked veteran who was making $27 million. The salary would be applied to their total, and they'd get above the floor. So you shouldn't be able to manipulate it. But, I've always said when it's millionaires against billionaires, root for the millionaires. And in this one, we're going to be without baseball for a while in 27.
Well, Michael, when I was in the league, I just remember looking at Major League Baseball, and there was a pitcher. I'm trying to remember his name, but I remember when I had retired, we were comparing our benefits, and Major League Baseball, their union was the strongest. They were so good, and but I'm just curious what the state is with Tony Clark, I think, is the executive director. Yeah. But is it still the strongest in all of professional sports?
I would say it is, but it's not as strong as it was when it was Marvin Miller and Don Fehr. Yeah. Marvin Miller was able to get players to, at times go against their own interest in the short term for long-term gain. Fehr did the same thing. And now the owners are a little more savvy now, because back then it was like family members who were inheriting this. These are people who have made money and understand how business works. But I'm telling you right now, they're going to be very, very short-sighted in this. Players are too, because, the average career, and it's easy for Bryce Harper to tell Rob Manfred to go, what. But the thing is, Bryce Harper's worth, a few $100 million. If I'm the third baseman, and here's the other thing, what they'll do? They'll say that year off doesn't count against your service. So now you're getting a year older and not getting closer to your free agency. So the younger players, the players who aren't making as much money, they're not sitting on a pile of dough where they can say, yeah, I can take a year off. And they're not going to be eating ramen, but this is going to hurt them long term.
What's the feeling about Harper out there as this became public that his quote was, "Get the bleep out of our clubhouse."
Yeah.
Speaking with Manfred, and he said, if you want to speak about that, you can get the bleep out of our clubhouse. Basically is saying we're not afraid to miss 162, and I think he's probably not speaking for every player, because as you mentioned, he's got a completely different financial situation than somebody who's just clinging to a roster spot out there. So
didn't Manfred fire back at him too?
Yeah, he's supposedly I will not get the bleep out of here.
Yeah, and Mark DeRosa, who works for Manfred, kind of came out and said, I don't think everybody knows how much power Manfred has. Really? That's what you're going to bring out after this? Manfred looked like he got punked. Sure, he stood up to him. But to have a player, that's never happened. Nobody ever said that to Bowie Kuhn. Nobody ever said that to Bud Sellout. Nobody ever did that. But Schwarbaum, 2-run homer, nice, 4-0. I'm glad he's on our side. But nobody's ever done that before. That was the equivalent of walking up to him and slapping him in the face. So, a lot of times when there's a lockout, people blame the players. They get mad at the players. But in this one, they may side with the players, because Manfred is certainly not a sympathetic figure after the way he handled the Astros debacle and everything else. So this could be bad, and it will hurt the game. Missing 2027 will hurt the game. I think maybe not irreparably, but considerably.
Hey, what'd you think of the Josh Naylor trade? I don't know if we could check in with you on that, but I don't know. It seemed like the Mariner, but I mean, he's been an all-star, and he's pretty much what the Mariners needed. But what'd you think of that move? How much do you know about him?
And it's good. It's good that they pulled the trigger early, right? The later we go until 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific on Thursday, the harder it's going to be to make a deal, because the prices are going to go up. And they got it out of the way. And it's funny. I understand that the way to build is to build your farm system and to have a whole lot of young talent and everything. But when you sit around and just say, we can't trade X because in 3 years he could be this, and you've got a chance to make the playoffs, and you've got a chance to make a move. I don't look 3 years down the line. The window is right now, right? You can find that player that's sitting there that could be something. If he can get you something now that's going to help you win, so I am in favor. There may be one or two prospects you don't get rid of. Just about everybody else. You look back at trades that teams get 4 or 5 prospects, and you say, how many of those prospects ever really, really make it and become stars? It's a small percentage.
Hey, what's are the Phillies looking to acquire? Because I was looking at some different players out there, and obviously everybody's got their eyes on Geno Suarez, and the Mariners need some production at a third base, so he's the prominent name. But looking at some other names that people were speculating on, and one was Bohm from the Phillies. So I'm like, are they selling, or are they just looking at maybe getting rid of him? They've got a young guy ready to come up behind him. What's his story there?
The Phillies are not selling. The Phillies are buying. They need relief help because their bullpen stinks, and their outfield WAR, their collective outfield WAR, is like the 5th lowest in the league, in all of baseball, both leagues. So their outfield has been rotten. They need a bat. Their right-handed bats are not good enough. I mean, they got Schwarber and Harper. Boom, boom, great. Trey Turner is one of the hits leaders. That's great. After that, yuck. So they need a right-handed bat, and they need at least one and maybe 2 bullpen pieces. And we'll see what they do. And if they got – and I'm of the opinion this team is very complacent. Over its last 48 games, it's 24-24. This is not a team. And in order to win a World Series, you got to win at least 3 and maybe 4 series. You cannot be a team that goes back and forth between good and bad and do that. So to me, this comes down to, do you want to win a World Series this year? Or do you want to try, let's be just good for a long time and sell a lot of tickets? That's something that people are interested in doing. If that means shaking it up and trading Bohm, who's a mope sometimes, do it.
Well, he doesn't, for a big guy, he doesn't seem to have a lot of pop. At least this year, he's only got 8 home runs. I'm not sure. Is that an outlier, or has that kind of been his story?
That's who he is. He started last year and was tremendous, and then it came June, and ever since then, he hasn't been nearly as good as he was, nearly as consistent as he was. And I'm of the opinion right now that, Bryson Stott, the second baseman, had a good year a couple years ago, but since then he's been rotten. Castellanos, if they can get someone to take him for anything, a bag of Fig Newtons, anything, take him, please. I don't know why anybody throws him a strike. That guy will chase anything low and outside. Right? It's amazing that this guy's in the majors making $20 million doing that.
Damn, Fig Newtons. I haven't heard that one.
A bag of them.
I love Fig Newtons. I would trade him for Fig Newtons because I love Fig Newtons.
He is El Hombre. Michael Bradley with us each and every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. This is where you find him. You can also find him on Twitter at Daily Hombre. At Daily Hombre is where you find him on Twitter. Michael, as always, great stuff, my friend. We'll do it again next week.
Get me a sponsor, suckers.
What did he say?
Get me a sponsor, suckers. He's just letting our sales staff have it. Oh, I'm sure they don't think it's nearly as funny as I do, but okay. Reminder, our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by The Landing in Renton. That is a pretty interesting story for those that haven't seen it, that, Rob Manfred is making visits to every team, so he didn't, single out the Phillies. This is just part of his tour, going into speak with players across the league, and he does it with every team. But he was in the Phillies clubhouse and speaking to people, and I guess he uttered the dirty words, salary cap, and the idea of it. And Harper popped up and said, if that's what you're here to talk about, you can get the bleep out of this clubhouse. And, apparently he shot back, I will not get the bleep out of this clubhouse. So
you got to respect him for that.
Yeah, and I guess the story said they talked out. They were seen talking with each other afterwards and shook hands and whatever. Yeah. And Harper was asked about it. He didn't really elaborate on it, but I feel like El Hombre is right. I think there's going to be a work stoppage, and I think these owners are going to get in their own way, and they're going to screw up the momentum that they've got. I mean, look, they're not the NFL. The NFL is king, and the NFL could probably get away with it. People would be pissed. But when they came back, if they were to strike, people would be frothing at the mouth to see NFL football. That's not the same way with baseball. They don't have that same fan base that the NFL has. So
yeah,
I think they're doing themselves a great disservice if this is the hill they're going to die on and say, well, this is the year we're going to really nail down the salary cap. It's just a no-go. It's a non-starter.
Right. Yeah, and I just, the more, I'm so, and we are, obviously, and you're a huge baseball fan. We're so immersed in Mariner baseball right now. I can't imagine it, struggling. Just because it's wildly popular, at least in our little world. I know.
Well, they're making they're making billions of dollars.
Yeah.
It's profitable.
No question. So, I mean, that part of it, I think it's interesting. Bryce Harper, his agent is Boris.
Yeah.
And so he's probably getting, a lot of the firepower that he has from him. But, I would hate to see that. I don't know. I guess I'm doubtful that it would take a while to get back if they did have a work stoppage in 27, that it wouldn't bounce right back. But
well, he was talking about worse, like if they miss a World Series, like season's gone, no season, no World Series. That's big.
Yeah.
And he was accurate in pointing out that when that happened last time, baseball didn't bounce right back.
No.
They did have the home run chase between McGuire and Sosa, and then you had the Ripken record going at the same time. So that brought fans back. You kind of had the steroid era where the balls flying out of the stadium, and that kind of brought the fans back. You don't have that now.
Yeah.
So it's hopefully we don't get there. I'm hoping that, cooler heads will prevail and they'll find some sort of happy medium for everybody. But if the owners are going to go in there and pound the table that we must have a salary cap, I just think you might as well just turn out the lights and lock the door, because you're not going to get the MLBPA to agree to that.
Well, and you mentioned the floor.
I'm on board for that.
I totally agree.
100%.
And like you said, I mean, you got teams that aren't spending any money and they're collecting, their portion,
revenue sharing,
of everything. And so, that part of it makes sense to me. But
the A's were the champs of that year after year, just pocketing all the money coming in from the teams that are being taxed with the luxury tax, like the Dodgers and Yankees and what have you. And they're not putting it back into their product, and they certainly weren't putting it into their facilities.
Who's the next cheapest? Is it probably Pittsburgh?
I think it's Pittsburgh. Yeah, the Rays are always way down there, yet they find ways to remain competitive. But, I think the Pirates are probably at the bottom right now. Meanwhile, one different way of looking at the Seahawks roster makes for an interesting question heading into the next few seasons. We'll get into that next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
It's another beautiful day outside. It is motorcycle weather. Rode the motorcycle here today. I'll be riding it every day, taking advantage of this weather, but that comes with a level of risk, obviously. And if you're somebody out there that's a rider as well, and maybe you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, do not settle for a firm that says they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it. That'd be Law Tigers. They've been part of the writing community for nearly a quarter century. Nationwide, they're there 24/7, 365 days a year. Why? Because riders deserve real support when they need it. And Law Tigers is the resource riders can turn to when they are in need. Now, you see them out at all the events. You see these events everywhere at all the shops. They support all the clubs out there. You see the Law Tiger tents. You see the vans driving around everywhere, the billboards. They're always there. They're present. The Law Tigers are always by your side. And even better, your case evaluation, always free. There are no fees until your case settles. They don't get paid until you get paid. So if you find yourself in an accident, you've been injured, you got to go with the right people. The Law Tigers are there for you. You never ride alone with Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If you didn't think skipping breakfast was a big deal, you'd be right. Before. But now, Wendy's has Buck Biscuits. We're talking sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or even the Honey Buddy chicken biscuit for just $1 each. Seriously, you can get all 3 if you want. They're just $1, so you'll never skip breakfast again. If you're smart. Breakfast for $1? Gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Limit 5 qualifying items per transaction. Not valid in the combo while supplies last.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine, and you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well, and your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks to El Hombre, Michael Bradley, who joined us in the previous segment. In case you guys are just tuning in and missed that conversation, you can find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Mike, if you're going to leave it open, you might as well just open it all the way. I'm sure what the partial open is going to do. There you go. We're fine. It's all
let's
good.
Not do things half-assed around here, okay?
As we continue to come to you live from the Virginia Mason Athletics Center, ESPN doing another ranking where they ranked all 32 NFL teams based on talent under the age of 25. And they've got the Seahawks at number 2. How about that? So back in last year, they were ranked 10th. Right now, they've got them ranked number 2, and they've identified their blue chip players under the age, and that would be Devin Witherspoon, Byron Murphy, who we spoke to earlier. In case you guys missed that conversation, that'll be on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com and JSN.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was just going through doing my own little count here, and I'm looking at 4 years, 4 seasons or lower. And there's about 100 guys out there. I think it's somewhere in the 90s, actually, high 90s. 67 players, either in their 4th, 3rd, 2nd, or rookie year. 67. So, yeah, I was just looking at the running back room. If you look at that, I mean, Ken Walker, he's the oldest. He's the oldest running back, you know. So you got a bunch of guys that are 3-year, 2-year, 4-year. I mean, that's his 4th year. Out of Michigan State, Kenneth Walker. So you got a ton of young guys.
Yeah, it sets
up. Why are you
well.
wiping off that chair, Mike?
Because it's been drying in the sun with all the booty juice that's on it.
Oh,
yeah.
Gross. That one hit me weird.
It is what it is, man.
See how Bob looks at the world?
I think Bump said that one day. I think I got that from him because I was wiping down the chair after he was sitting in it. He said, yeah, get all that booty juice off there.
Yeah, we've had some big sweaty dudes coming right off the field, and you can understand they're not trying to sweat all over the chair, but they are.
Yeah, they get up in the.
So you don't want to put your sandwich there.
You don't want to put anything there. You could push it down. It's like a sponge, really. Like if you squeeze a sponge and the water comes out, that's what that seat cushion's like.
For somebody that's as much of a germaphobe, you sure go into great detail in the script.
I'd say I'm doing that. I just know what it looks like.
Describing things that are gross.
But meanwhile, they talked about the Seahawks, saying they climbed 8 spots on their list for a few reasons. They said, first, 23-year-old JSN had a breakout 2024 season, catching 100 passes for 1,130 yards and 6 touchdowns. Other than him, the best of the Seahawks young players is 24-year-old slot cornerback Witherspoon. First 2 seasons recorded 177 tackles, 4 sacks, and 25 passes defended. And then the rest of the young defense includes last year's first-round pick, 22-year-old Murphy, as well as 24-year-old edge rusher Derek Hall, 21-year-old second-round rookie safety Nick Emanwari. Seahawks also have more youth on offense with 24-year-old running backs like Ken Walker, Zach Charbonnet, and the left side of the O-line where left tackle Charles Cross and left guard rookie Gray Zabel are both under the age of 25.
Yeah, it is amazingly young and love it, right? And that's why they have a bunch of salary cap space as well.
By the way, by way of comparison, the 49ers are number 30.
Really?
Yeah. There's 32 teams, Dave.
Yeah, reminder.
Yeah.
32 teams. Okay. But yeah, and that's why we were talking about the defensive line and how they got some old guys in there. I mean,
with Leonard Williams,
old. Yeah.
Jaron Reed.
Yeah, you got Jaron Reed. You got.
How old is Reed now?
Jay Reed is. Do they have the number here? Where it is? 32.
32.
Wow. I mean, you get in your 30s, and then you got Jonathan Hankins, who's 33. He's in his 13th year, 10th year for Jaron Reed, and then Big Cat's in his, I think, 10th year as well. So,
he's 31.
Yeah, 11th year, actually, for him. So, and then you got DeMarcus Lawrence at 12. But, so, that's pretty much it as far as the older guys. I mean, you're either ancient or you're under, 4 years in the league. So there's very few, like Julian Love's his 7th year. But, yeah, I mean, as far as just looking at this roster, you got to love
Julian Love's only 27 years old.
Yeah.
When you talk to him, he just seems like a grizzled veteran. And he is a veteran, obviously. But he seems like, he's in his 30s at least.
Yeah, I mean, and you love that about him. Like, he's got kind of like an old soul, and he's got a great story.
He's very mature.
Yeah, and, I loved what he did with the Giants. I mean, he just couldn't get on the field because he was playing behind. It's kind of like Moyer. Moyer was behind John Harris and Kenny Easley and Eugene Robinson, and, he just couldn't get on the field, so he, built his career a different way, and he was a special team guy. Moyer was... I remember him blocking a kick, and I think he returned one of them for a touchdown. But that was the same thing that Julian Love did. He's like, I'm going to be the special team captain until I get a chance to play. And now, he's a starter. They gave him a new contract, and yeah, he looks great. Love having him out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, by the way, the Texans are number 1 on the list.
Yeah.
And their blue chip players are C.J. Stroud, edge rusher Will Anderson Jr., cornerback Derek Stingley Jr., and then their other cornerback, Kamari Lassiter. And then notable graduated players, wide receiver Tank Dell and offensive lineman Juice Scruggs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're number 1. Seahawks at number 2, followed by the Commanders, the Giants. Trying to see the rest of the NFC West here because we know, let's see,
so the Niners are 30th, huh?
30th, yeah. Yeah, so they're down toward the bottom, which bodes well unless they do a complete rebuild, but they got a lot of money tied up there. The Rams are 18th, Cardinals are 19th.
Yeah.
So Seahawks in a good position. That's assuming all the youth, realizes their potential.
Right.
And is able to, they're able to capitalize on that youth.
Well, yeah, and you might have to be patient. I know Mariner fans hate that word.
You can't. Seahawks fans, you can use it with.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Mariner fans.
No. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when we heard from Byron Murphy, is a perfect example of the guy taking. You could tell that you could see the relief in his eyes of that first year guy, and he was great. I mean, I remember we had him in here. I remember thinking that huge lounge chair was almost too small for him. Yeah. He is just a monster, and you look at he's just immovable. And so you look at the same thing with with Big Cat, and then you throw Jay Reed in there. I mean, it's that part of this team is very well equipped. So that'll be interesting to see how those guys have kind of the influence like DeMarcus Lawrence is having on the defense right now. Like you said, all you did was mention it to Murphy. His name.
Yeah.
And he was like, just starts laughing.
Yeah, big grin, starts chuckling.
Yeah.
So that's a great sign. I love that.
But yeah, I mean, you have some well-placed veterans that are in leadership roles that are really good at that.
All right, coming up, the Mariners might be out on the Geno Suarez sweepstakes. We'll tell you what that's about coming up next with Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
Now batting for the Mariners, first baseman Josh Naylor.
The first contender to make the big move that says, we're all in.
Going and goodbye baseball. Josh Naylor, yes indeed.
You're now looking at a 1 through 6 in your lineup that's deep. It's legitimate.
Just 2 more days till the trade deadline. The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports has you covered on 710 and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. And when you hear Harley Exteriors, think windows. Manufactured right here in Washington, specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest climate. And Olympic Series windows are offered exclusively by Harley Exteriors. And this is the window you want. It's absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window. And these windows last up to 60 years. So they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. And they come with a double lifetime fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breakage or damaged seals, it's going to help your home's resale value. Very affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. And in July, and you better hurry up, it's July 29th. In July, Harley Exteriors, they're offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. So remember, that expires here in a couple of days. And think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY. Or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intro-line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
The home of the Mariners.
Lift off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BlowingClassic.com for more.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed, all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X-Fi Complete required for unlimited data, except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards, USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. You got the Mariners pregame show coming up at the top of the hour, 6 p.m. Game 2 of their series with the A's in Sacramento. They'll send Logan Evans to the hill. They'll face off against Luis Severino. So that's your pitching matchup. So, yeah, pregame starting at 6 p.m. By the way, what was your feeling about that ballpark? If I'm an A's fan just watching, I know A's fans aren't happy. They're in Sacramento, but yeah, it looks like a nicer park than the Coliseum that they were playing in.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it reminds me a lot of Mariner spring training.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what the facilities are like, the clubhouses or anything,
That
but
would
it
be
just
the question.
aesthetically, just watching it on TV, I'm like, looks like an upgrade. It's obviously much smaller in the way of attendance that you could pack out there. But
whenever you're watching a game, do you ever notice the couples that are in the crowd back there? Because there was one last night that I couldn't really figure out. I couldn't figure out if it was his daughter or his date.
I didn't notice that. No.
Yeah, those
it's always
things,
a good sign, right? If you can't figure that out.
Yeah, that's for him. Yeah. No, but I mean, you see these couples together, and like, yeah, what gets people together? Alcohol, right?
Or baseball.
Or baseball.
Or money.
How about both?
Whatever.
How about all three?
Meanwhile, the biggest target, I would say, in free agency, not just for the Mariners, but just in speaking, is Geno Suarez, who was plunked in the hand last night. And just, I think, immediately sent a shiver down the spine of a number of GMs out there that have probably been burning up the phone lines with the Diamondbacks trying to propose different trades and maybe feeling like we're close on this. And then, boom, he gets hit in the hand. And they're like, whoa, what just happened there? But our guy Daniel Kramer was writing about, their pursuit of Geno and talking about there's a chance that maybe they're looking elsewhere because the ask might be high. The quote is because so far the ask has been great enough that the Mariners have already pivoted more aggressively to other trade targets, notably for another bat and most chiefly a leverage relief arm. So I don't know if that's posturing. You know how GMs will use the media to leak things out there and make a team think they're not as interested, whatever. I don't know if that's that or if that's legit, like, hey, there's no way we're paying the price that the D-backs are asking, so we're now looking at plan B here at third base.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I always saw the whole thing as maybe Naylor and Geno being fairly similar as far as value. As far as what you'll take. But Geno, I mean, with the home run numbers and the way he's swinging the bat right now, I mean, yeah, I guess I get that. But I'm really, after last night, I thought that was a great, deadline game because, you gave up very little. I mean, I know people would argue with me that, Brandon Garcia is probably going to be a Cy Young winner or whatever, but, and the other guy, Ashton Izzy, I don't know. I think for most fans, you're looking at that top 20 list and you're like, yeah, that was totally palatable. And then seemingly got a guy, like I said, to Shannon, there was one he had to pick, and I think it was Dylan Moore that threw it, and you could tell he's like, sorry, bro, and he's like, don't worry about it, man. Like, I got it covered. And you saw, that one athletic move that he had where he had to come up the line, and then, he ends up stealing a base, bad throw, takes third, ends up getting, driven home with a sac fly from Garver, and then, yeah, I mean, he gets the home run. I don't know. I'm starting to be comfortable with just him, and it sounds like Geno is going to be too expensive.
And maybe he is. I'm assuming, and well, obviously they've got a different plan. They've got a plan B or C or D at this point. Hey, if this guy, the ask is too much, or somebody snaps him up, here's our target. They're going to move down their list. I think they will get another bat. I don't know that it'll be Geno, but I think they will get another bat, and I would like them to do that, certainly, and a leverage arm. I don't know if they get more than one arm in the bullpen, but I think at minimum we're going to see another bat and a relief pitcher.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they didn't get a reliever.
They will. I'm just going to go on. They will get a relief pitcher, whether it's the one Mariner fans want or don't want, who knows. Right. But we will be talking about, hey, here's our new arm in the bullpen. Yeah. Joe Schmegegi. Welcome him with open arms.
Right.
And even if he is a guy like that, Dave, we talked about this. Even if he is a guy where people are going, wait, who's that? I've never even heard of him. Hey, look at his numbers. They don't look great. That's where I've got almost blind faith in their ability to turn that kind of player into somebody who becomes really productive.
You said it yesterday. That's Justin Topa.
Yeah,
right.
It's Seawald.
He was fantastic.
Yeah, it's Murphy. It's all these guys that you looked at and go,
Murphy.
Who was that?
Yeah,
who is this guy? And then they become guys. They're not all closers. They're not all high leverage guys. All of them, but they just became guys like when they were brought into the game. You felt like, okay, I know what this guy does. I've got belief in what he's going to do here, and that's what they've just had that knack. Unfortunately, it hasn't been on the offensive side, but when it comes to pitching, I've got a completely different level of faith in their ability to evaluate talent and take something that looks like, that's not my, look at the numbers, that's not great. They end up being a different pitcher when they've been here.
Yeah, totally agree. And, just the way that I saw on Top Step with Ryan Roland Smith, they
Top
did
Step?
yeah, there you go, Bob. Somebody has to do it. And, he was talking to like Gabe Spire and Trent Thornton, and they were just, raving about the coaching and how it's like, hey, what do you throw best? Let's do that. Remember, Seawald would always tell us, I got 2 pitches.
Yeah.
That's it. But that he threw them well. So the other thing I thought about last night, that was one of my favorite games of the year, just because it looked like they might choke it up for a while there, and they were able to, and then
got a little interesting at the end with the bases loaded.
It did get interesting. And then, you get Ben Williamson, who, and I know it doesn't address the bat, at the corner, but still just his play. He ended up getting 2 hits.
Yeah.
And so.
A double, 2 for 3, scored a run.
Yeah. So, I mean, and, you look at the defense that he played, I think it just is going to make fans feel a lot better that, okay, if we're not getting Geno, look at what Ben Williamson is doing. And then look, I'm not saying that he's going to hit for power this year. Maybe he can bulk up and come in like Dominic Canzone did a couple of years ago and, have built up and be a power guy. But I love him on defense, and really there's not a lot to complain about other than he's only got 1 home run.
Yeah, I'm pulling for him. I would love that he could potentially be your third baseman of the future. Maybe he grows into more of a power hitter, and, he doesn't have to be the league leader in home runs, but just be a guy you can count on for production. And where you don't feel like, all right, he's going to slap a ball here, slap a ball there. He's not going to hit anything out of the park and drive in runs. So we'll see. But, last night was a great win. Hopefully they can continue to do this because the Yankees are losing. And who knows, by the end of the night, you could be tied for that first spot in the wild card. Meanwhile, Game 2 coming your way. That does it for us. I want to thank our guests today, Byron Murphy, Ray Roberts, Shannon Drayer, and El Hombre. We'll talk to you tomorrow with Wyman and Bob.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passan with Brock and Salk.
Right before the trade deadline, where does this roster sit out of the 30 in baseball?
There is no dominant team this year, guys. It is a wide open landscape in Major League Baseball. There is no dominant team. And if you can put yourself in the position where you get one of those golden tickets, I firmly believe the Seattle Mariners can win a World Series this year.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over at PCF Construction. If you're seeking a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, maybe a new deck, patio cover, railings, well, my friends at PCF have you covered. This summer, well, you can enjoy 12 months of no interest and no payments. And how about this? Plus 50% off a design and architectural drawing package, or up to $5,000 off an undercover system. If you're looking at your outside and saying, golly, what a beautiful summer in the Pacific Northwest, and we can't take advantage of it, well, take advantage of these offers today. If you've been wanting that new deck, that new patio cover, make the call. Get online right now and connect with my friends at PCF. You can find all the offer details. You can get project ideas, and you can browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call today at 425-629-8476. Don't let this offer pass you by. It's 425-629-8476.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowes.com/delivery for more details.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything